100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that. Hello, and welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show, everybody. Happy Thursday. You know what they say, Thursday's the new Friday, which in a way means we've made it to the weekend. Hope everyone's having a nice beginning to their day. We are glad that you are making us a part of it, however you are listening, wherever you're listening from, YouTube, Facebook, live here on the radio. We got 100 different ways for you to listen. Not really, it's just 3. So, Tigers lose once again yesterday. They've now lost 13 of their last 15 games. They have lost 9 of their last 12 regular season games to the Cleveland Guardians. Back-to-back nights, it's a one-score game. Yesterday, they blow it in the 9th inning. It's unbelievable. Zach McKinstry in the 8th inning, chance to extend that lead. Gets picked off at second base. It's lackadaisical baseball. It's bad defense baseball. There's nothing that's going right for this Tigers team right now, and that goes without saying. You're on the verge of getting swept by the Cleveland Guardians, who are in first place. You're tied for last with the Royals, and right now you are 10 games under 500. There is a world where you have to be sellers at the deadline. I'm not quite ready to be in that world yet, but man, we're getting dangerously close for the Tigers, to the point where yesterday, even leading up to the game, during the game, after the game, I start asking myself, are we sure A.J. Hinch is the right man to be managing this Tigers team? Now, I know what you may be thinking if you're one of our loyal listeners, but Ben, you are an A.J. Hinch stan. I think A.J. Hinch is a brilliant manager. More than most. I think he's better at his job than I think the average Tiger fan does. But I'm wondering for the first time if he's the right fit for what the Tigers need right now. A.J. Hinch, he's a chess player. He's a chess master. Is that exactly what the Tigers need right now? Do they need platooning? Do they need pulling starters early? Or do they need a rah-rah, fire-me-up guy? Not just someone who gets fired up just to get fired up, but a motivator, a leader, someone who takes losing as unacceptable, someone who's willing to pull guys when they make moronic mistakes like Zach McKinstry did at second base yesterday, like Wenzel Perez does in the outfield once a game. This roster's not very good, and I feel like A.J. Hinch is trying to make up for it right now by being the smartest guy in the room. And for the first time, I'm wondering, maybe that's not exactly what the Tigers need. Because the Tigers lack an FU mentality. They lack that tough guy chest out, we're here to beat the brakes off of you. And I don't think you need that as a baseball team, but it certainly doesn't hurt to have that. The Tigers, they're a bunch of fun, loving guys. Good guys, show up to the ballpark, win or loss, we're here to just play some baseball. Vibes are good. Thumbs up. I don't really get the sense that the losing bothers them all that much. Kevin McGonigal's had some quotes that make me think he's an ultra competitor, but at the same, he's a rookie. What are you going to do? Tarek Skubal, I know he's that ultra competitor, but he's not in the lineup right now. Nor is he in the lineup for every 5 days. I wonder if the Tigers lack that step up. Hey, man, losing, unacceptable in this clubhouse. That stuff you just pulled at second, Zach McKinstry, unacceptable in this clubhouse. I don't think Riley Green is that person as great as he's been this season. And it clearly can't be Torkelson or Kerry Carpenter or any of these other bozos. So you start to look at the manager. Can the manager get these guys riled up? Can he get them pissed off that they're losing? Can he make them want to go give it to the other team and run around with their chest puffed out like they're the best? I don't think A.J. Hinch is that guy. A.J. Hinch isn't going to get on everybody for those mistakes. A.J. Hinch is cool. He's calm. He's collected. And this Tigers team has never really had to face his backlash. Again, I think he's a brilliant manager. I think he's a smart guy. But I really wonder if this is the right fit for what the Tigers need right now. And this is the first time I've ever had these thoughts about whether or not A.J. Hinch should be the man in charge. As the Tigers manager, he's 414 and 446. In the last 3 years, including this season, he's 12 games over 500. Let's not forget, though, 7 and 17 in September of last year to blow one of the biggest blown leads in the history of Major League Baseball. Whether it's the over-platooning, whether it's the pulling starters early and trying to preserve them for the season. Brother, the season's on the line now. You're 10 games under 500 now. We got to treat these games like they're a little bit more important than just one of every 162. I'm starting to wonder if the Tigers need something else from a leadership standpoint, not just a managerial standpoint, because I don't think any player on the team is going to step up and be that, hey guys, embrace my mentality. I'm refusing to. I don't think the Tigers have that. So I think they might need it from the manager. And I'm not just sitting here, A.J. Hinch needs to be fired. These are the three guys that want to replace him. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just dipping my toes in the water of like, hey, I think I'm actually having these thoughts for the first time that maybe A.J. Hinch is not the right fit for the Detroit Tigers and what they need in this moment in time.
I mean, I think anytime a baseball team and any pro sports team plays the way that the Tigers currently are, you're just going to start to have this thought, right? No matter who the manager is. It could be Andy Reid with the Chiefs. Like, it doesn't matter. If a team is performing as poorly as the Detroit Tigers currently are, you're going to start to think about a potential head coaching change, a managerial change, whatever it is. And so I understand those thoughts. And look, I think when it comes to A.J. Hinch's fit with the Tigers, his fit is managing a good team. Like, that's just, it is. His fit is managing a deep team, a team that has plenty of options more than just the 1 through 9. And this current version of the Tigers is not that. Mm-hmm. They certainly are not a deep team. They certainly aren't a team that it makes sense to, oh, we're going to bring in this guy to pinch hit because he hits this guy better than that guy. And, oh, this is a better at-bat statistically and analytically for us. No, they just don't have 9 good players to throw out there right now.
They don't have 5 good players to throw out there right now.
And so the injury card plays, but it does feel like at this point in their season, it has become more than just the injuries. You know, Zach McKinstry getting back picked at second base yesterday on a lackadaisical play, base running-wise for him, which he never really does. That's more than just the injuries piling up. The bad defense, that's not just, I mean, I guess it's coming from some guys that don't typically play, so you could say that's injury-related, but still, like, they aren't only bad because their good players are hurt. I think that's the most clear thing right now, because you still do have guys like Riley Green who are just performing at an all-time level right now, and it's completely shadowed by the overall play of the ball club.
Yeah, Riley Green in this series alone is slashing. This is almost unbelievable. 750 on-base percentage, 750 slugging, and hitting .625 in the last 3 games against Cleveland. They've lost every game. It makes no sense.
He reached base in like his first 7 plate appearances of this series.
Yet he had a chance to win the game last night and it doesn't come through. That's more so. Look, I love Riley Green. I feel like he has no big moments since coming into the league. He has the 2 home runs in the 9th inning last year. But in terms of like coming through in a very clutch situation late in a game, I don't know, man.
Is now the time to be like doing a negative Riley Green thing?
No, now's not the time. I just figured I'd slide that in.
Sure, I guess that makes sense. But I mean, just think about the vibe that you get with this Tigers team right now. Like, that's why we're asking this question today, and that's why I assume a lot of the other Tigers fans are feeling that way. The second this game went into the bottom of the 9th inning, I don't even want to say went into extra innings. The second that Cleveland tied it up at 1-1, no one was confident the Tigers were winning, right?
No, we all knew what was about to happen.
This is guards ball. This is what they do. They tie it up late. They go into extras. They score weird runs, and they pull out these close wins. This is how Cleveland has done it for the last decade, and they have done it against the Tigers too. Like, everybody knew that game was over. And then I think I texted this to you like after the J-Ram gap shot that put him up 2. with still nobody out. I'm like, can they just end the game right now? Like, I don't even care to watch what's going to happen throughout the rest of this. I just want it to be over. So that's just the vibe of this current squad. And when the vibe is that low with the way that they're playing, you're of course going to look to the person that is in charge of everything.
You know, I think about not Brad Ausmus, never Brad Ausmus. I never think about Brad Ausmus. But I do think about Jim Leland, who, you know, for the most part, threw the same lineup card out there every day. There wasn't as much managerial decisions going on. You weren't playing chess throughout the game. He just kind of was the motivator. He was the guy that got on everybody. Hey, you're not doing this up to standard. I'm going to tell you right up to your face. I wonder if the Tigers need a little bit more of that. Just an old school FU mentality guy who walks around with his chest out and wants to go crush his competition. Because I feel like the Tigers are missing that sort of spark right now, which I don't know if they're ever going to regain that at any point this year if they don't have someone on the team that's willing to do that. It feels like the Tigers almost have to get off to a nice start before all of that happens. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. And then, like, even last year, guess what? They couldn't stop the bleeding when they went 7-17 in September. No one was there to do it. They refused to stop the bleeding. A.J. Hinch couldn't do it. Riley Green wouldn't do it. Nobody stepped up and was like, hey, guys, we got to figure this out. And now they're bleeding once again in an even worse way. And it's not able to stop. 13 of their last 15 games. It was bad a week ago. Now it's getting really awkward. Like, hey, you guys know you're favored to win this division, right? World Series contenders at the beginning of the season. You guys don't have much longer to pull yourself out of this hole. It's already nasty. You're 10 games under. You got to turn things around like now, as in today.
Yeah, especially when you are playing the team that's in first place and have a chance to either gain ground or make it 10 times worse. And right now it's just continued to get worse. And I've seen some Tigers fans, like, once again, we're not saying A.J. Hinch should be fired. I certainly am not there. I know you're not there. But I've seen a lot of Tigers fans throwing out, hey, look what the Phillies have done this year. You know, they got off to a disastrous start. They fired Rob Thompson, their manager. They're 16-6 under their interim manager, Don Mattingly, who is like a former manager, but still, like, sometimes all it takes is just some sort of change to rile these guys up. Because right now, the Tigers need any sort of riling up they can get.
Did you also see last night in the 10th inning, extra innings, Cleveland's runner on second, waving his hand a little bit? How does this keep happening to the Tigers? That's a manager. If it happens once, okay, that's on the pitcher. If it happens twice, coincidence. If it's happening 3 times over the course of the last year, whether it's the playoffs or earlier this season and now against Cleveland, that's on A.J. Hinch. If there's 3 different instances against Seattle in the playoffs, Framber Valdez earlier that ended up resulting in him throwing at the other team, and now last night versus Cleveland, I think we're tipping our pitches somehow. How does this keep happening? How does A.J. Hinch not be like, hey, dummies, hide your ball. Put the ball in your glove so they can't see it? Because clearly the other team is figuring out some way to relay pitches back to the mound or back to home plate. And sure enough, they're able to score that runner. Did you notice that in the 10th inning yesterday?
I did not notice that. Which, I mean, I don't think that's an A.J. Hinch thing. If we're going to give it to any coach, it's probably on Chris Fetter, because that's the guy who's with them on a day-to-day basis. But yeah, if you're a pitcher,
who's Chris Fetter's boss, though?
I mean, sure, but like, if you're a pitcher, you have to know. Like, you have to know not to do that. I don't think I'm assuming the managers have implemented that to the pitchers. You know, like, there's a guy on second, you can't be flashing it. It's that simple.
Again, if it happens once, it's no big deal. If it happens twice, weird. If it happens 3 times, I don't know. There's something. How about this? Everybody deserves a little bit of blame for that. The pitcher, the pitching coach, the manager. How is this still an issue? 3 times in the last 6 months that they've been caught doing this? Tipping their pitches in some way? Lot to be frustrated with right now with the Tigers. I think A.J. Hinch is starting to rise up a lot of people's boards right now. So I ask you the question, do you feel like A.J. Hinch is the right fit for the Tigers? And I will admittedly tell you, I don't have any replacements for him right now. That's not what I have. I'm just simply asking the question. Do you feel like he is the right fit for the Detroit Tigers with the way that this season has gone? Can they survive this season and salvage it if they keep him around? It's the Ben Bosscher Show. We're live here on 100.9 The Mitt. The 9 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by Iron Stack Technology. Quick shout out to Iron Stack Technology. You know, we talk about the game plan all the time on this show. AJ Hinch's has not been great as of late. But IT, Iron Stack always has a plan for their IT. They help businesses stay secure, efficient, and ready for what's next so you can focus on your mission instead of your technology. Iron Stack Technology, solution-driven, mission-focused. You can check them out online at ironstacktechnology.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9.
Just to put things into perspective on how the Tigers season has gone and how it needs to go the rest of the way, they would have to go 65-48 the rest of the way to get to 85 wins. 85, not 90, 85. They'd have to go 65-80-48.
Which is probably what it takes to win the division, like at minimum.
I hear that, and I'm like, oh no. This team's not doing that. Not the way that they're playing baseball. And it has less to do with the injuries and more to do with, getting picked off at second place. the atrocious defensive effort from Wenzel Perez on a nightly basis. It is like every other game. Wenzel Perez has a lack of a play, I guess I should say, that makes me want to bash my skull through the table in my living room. He is he has played 32 games and has a -1 WAR. How is that even possible? That's how bad of an impact he has on a daily.
You know, and I think it's important to lay out the way that you did, because trying to envision this team, making up that much ground, because everyone always says when you get panicked at this time of the year, oh, it's May. It's May still. Like, you can't start to panic about your baseball team till July. That's what everybody says. And sure, I agree, somewhat.
It might be over by July 1st if they keep this up.
But it's it's important to recognize, okay, if you're not panicked, then do you think this group can go 17 games above 500 the rest of the way? Because there's no way you believe that, right? Even before all the injuries started going down. It's not like they were some 17 game above 500 caliber team.
Correct, but I thought they were
fine.
They were fine. Yeah, and
they were probably enough to win the division.
Right, and I had confidence they would figure it out and get on a hot streak at some point the way that again, I still believe in this team. I still think that this is a completely different team once they get these 6 guys back from injury that we talked about so much yesterday, the 3 hitters and the 3
no doubt about it.
The 3 arms. But the thing that we feared a week or so ago, when it was hey, they've lost 7 of their last 8 games, it's is this hole going to be too deep to climb out of by the time that everyone's healthy?
We circled this series.
Then they're about to get swept by Cleveland. Now they've lost 13 of their last 15 games. A week went by and they didn't win a game.
And you just look at the games that have happened this series, and it's just a classic way. I know that they had the blowout in one of the games, but last night you have to win last night's game. You have to win last night's game. You get the awesome pitching by Chaos game. Tigers brought it. It was just no offense in this game. Tanner Bybee goes so deep into this game for Cleveland. It feels like Bybee kills us every time, man.
Yep.
He's not even that good. He's fine, but he kills the Tigers every single time. And that game you just had to take. And so to think that this group that already was, a fine team pre all the injuries, they have now become a disastrous team. For them to have to make up that much ground, it is very difficult to envision. Of course, we'll continue to say this, and honestly, we'll probably say it until they're eliminated. They're in the AL Central, and anything can happen in this god-awful, stupid division that is led by that stupid Cleveland team.
I hate them. I hate this team so much. They've lost 9 of their last 12 regular season games to Cleveland, by the way. And I went through and tracked how many times they've blown a 9th-inning lead. Yesterday was only the 2nd, but doesn't it feel like a lot more? It feels like a lot. Every game comes down to the last couple innings. A single pitch, a single play. Last night you could point to Zach McKinstry, or you could point to the 10th inning when the Tigers pitching staff was, it looked like tipping their pitches. I don't know how long you look at you watch the post game on Detroit Sportsnet, but whenever they lose, they play the other team celebrating on the field for a little bit, and then they cut to some cam that they have just in the dugout. And yesterday was the first time they cut to that, and I was just oh, you could hear the tension in the dugout, even though there wasn't a mic down there. I posted a picture of it on the Mitt's Facebook, and it's just a bunch of guys looking down, silent, no one saying a word. And I rewound it because I wanted to make sure I'm not I just wanted to see it again. And it's awkward, man. It really does feel awkward. And I feel like it took them this long, 2 weeks of losing, for them to really feel it. But now I think there is some pressure of and some realization from within the team. Guys, it is May 21st. And our season, in a way, is on the line for the next 2 weeks. Because you can't keep doing this for 2 more weeks. Otherwise, you're actually done. You're not winning anything this year. You have to turn things around today. Now, in the next couple games. Over the next 10 games, 500 is no longer good enough. Over the next 20 games, 500. You got to start winning at an exceptional level to be able to turn your season around. You don't have a ton of time left in order to get this thing back on track. And I know it's only May. I get that. To your point, worst division in sports. But the way that they're they got to snap out of whatever's going on right now immediately, or else their season will be done by the first week of June. And I feel like the Tigers, for the first time, are starting to recognize that. When before, up until the last couple games against Cleveland, it's been yeah, but it's early. We got some injuries. We'll get our guys back. We're not worried about anything. We're the Tigers. We play baseball. We have fun. we're gritty. We find ways to win. I feel like they lack the tough guy FU mentality. And again, you don't need that in baseball, but it can't hurt. And I feel like they really lack that leadership right now.
It usually helps spark something, and so, but AJ Hinch even spoke about it this morning. Like, this team right now is just having everything go wrong. Like, on days where the pitching brings it, the offense is nothing. On days where the offense has a little something early, the pitching doesn't bring it. Like, they're finding ways to lose right now.
The question is, how do you flip that then?
Exactly, because maybe it's one of these situations where if they pick up a win and like a win where they feel really good about it.
Oh, you mean like a walk-off?
Not even, no, I was actually going to say the opposite. Because I know the walk-off one they had against Toronto was like, oh, walk-off win. Okay, that can spark something. Yeah, they've lost 5 games in a row since the walk-off. So clearly it didn't. I'm thinking like, I don't know, an 8-0 win. Like something where they just get okay, we feel good. We were in control the whole way. There was no doubt about it. A good win. Maybe it just takes one of those to spark a run for this group and to get back on track. But right now they can't put it all together for one game. And in a 162-game sample, that's going to happen more times than not, but it is continuously happening right now in a streak where they need it to stop.
I feel like the Tigers just have a lot of nice guys on their team. Like Riley Green, stand-up, nice guy. Spencer Torkelson, nice guy. Like, not a ferocious mentality. None of these guys want to kill their opponents.
This is the same thing you said about the Wings, too.
Yeah, precisely what I was saying about the Wings. Like, there's no killer instinct in any of these guys, it feels like, for the Tigers, other than Tarek Skubal, who, ironically, all of the losing started the second he left the team and had to go to Lakeland to start rehabbing. Obviously, he's back now and they're still losing, but the second he still can't help. He's not on the mound. The second that guy left the locker room, they had nobody to pick them up. Not a single competitive bone in that locker room other than McGonigal, who is just a rookie and is not going to be in a position to where he can yell at everybody else on the team. Like, what's it going to take for Riley Green to sit everyone down? Closed-door meeting. Hey, wake up. Wake the F up. I need some help. I'm the only guy out there producing right now. When are you guys going to help me out? Zach McKinstry, don't be a bozo at second base. That kind of stuff just can't happen during a losing streak. You're caught off guard, lackadaisical, and you get backpicked at second. That stuff can't. It's lackadaisical baseball. It's aloof baseball. Every time in the field, it feels like there's some sort of error where you just put your head in your hands.
It's a frustrating watch.
Who's it going to take to sit everyone down and tell everyone, like, let's wake up, guys. Your hand is up.
There's a guy in AAA that I think could help.
Max Anderson. Or the other Max.
You got the right first name. No, that was mainly a joke. Like, he can come in and just yell at everybody, because that feels like that's something he would do. But no, I think
it'd be a different type of spark. It wouldn't be a yell at you spark.
I think that a guy from AAA should be called up, though, and maybe it's a tough spot for Clark, because then he's
come save our season.
Exactly, come like figure things out for us. That's a lot of pressure to put on the kid.
OPS
I'm kind of leaning the other Max, like you said. It's about time for Max Anderson to be called up. This team needs some sort of shift. They have way too many guys on the roster that stink. I understand why Short is here. Like, I get it, because they don't have another shortstop. They do kind of need him. Now that McKinstry is back, though, he can play shortstop on the days McGonigal can't. Like, let's just get that out of the way. Max Anderson is a right-handed bat. He has crushed minor league pitching this year. It's time to call him up. He's a top 5 prospect. Like, he needs to be coming up.
Not a ton of time in AAA this year. I don't really care. I'd much rather watch him strike out 3 times.
Yeah, how many
than watch
at-bats
Zach
did
Short
Kevin McGonigal get in
times.
AAA? You know, like.
It does make me wonder, though, back to where we started this thing, and then we'll take some texts on this, whether or not AJ Hinch is capable of igniting that flame again. He's a chess player. I don't think he's a flame lighter. And I wonder if, again, I think he's a brilliant manager. I know you're on the same page as me. Some people don't agree. That is fine. Maybe we can all agree on this. And I'm not even like putting my fist down on the table and demanding that there's change at this point. I'm just kind of open to new ideas right now, because how can you not be with 10 games under? I'm wondering if AJ Hinch is the right fit. He's a good manager. He's a major league manager. I think we can all agree on that. But the over-platooning, pulling starters early to save their arms when their season's basically on the line now, aloof base running, bad defense, maybe that's not as much on him. I think about that collapse from last year where he could not stop the bleeding. Things started to unravel, spiral out of control, and he couldn't get it back on track. I wonder if he's the right fit for what the Tigers need right now. 989-837-6125. We'll get to some Mitt messages when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt. As always, brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. The experts who do the job right the first time, whether you have a leaky roof, storm damage, siding looking tired, Bresky has you covered. Locally owned, trusted, and dedicated to keeping Midland area homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today and keep your home strong for years to come.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, let's get to some of the Mitt messages here. Got a text that says, to make matters worse, JV gave up bombs to Perez and Jones in his simulated game. Yeah. Remember yesterday I was like, oh, Justin Verlander could be back in 2 weeks. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I really don't. Ugh. Giving up bombs to Perez and Jones, of all people, in your simulated game. Oh, man.
Yeah, the Jahmai Jones that has 0 hits versus right-handed pitching this year.
Yeah, that guy.
Would hit a bomb off of Verlander.
Rob says, I know this is usually a Detroit, Michigan, MSU sports talk show, but wondering if you guys are going to go over any USA games in the World Cup next month. Kind of random. Maybe. We'll see.
You said you liked the World Cup, right?
I do like the World Cup.
I saw that Arsenal won the Premier League.
I don't know what that means.
That's all I know.
Darren says, Ben, I'm going to say this. It's time to move on from Hinch. He's a great manager, but doesn't have the bulldog mentality. I'm going to hold players accountable leadership. Tigers need a Sparky Anderson, Leland type of manager. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of what I laid out in the open, right? Without really saying AJ Hinch should be fired, because I don't think we're quite there yet. I'm just saying I'm open to it for the first time. I'm wondering about it. And if this continues to go like this, like what happens if this turns into, hey, they've lost 17 of their last 23 games? Okay, then I think they might actually do it. Like, then there's actually reason to pull the trigger. The bleeding has to stop, like now. If the bleeding continues for another week or so, yeah, the season's lost already, and you may as well make the change.
I mean, them going 17 of their last 23 would be them going 4-4 over their next 8 games. That feels lofty.
Oh my God, you're right.
I mean, like they would 4-4 over the next 8. I'd honestly would be happy with the way they're playing. Like I'm with you. That's the important part to note here. Is like I think AJ Hinch is a great manager to have when your team is good. Like, if you have a good team and you have a deep team, that's when AJ Hinch shines, because he's able to make those moves that may seem so minuscule, but it's why he is elevated over other managers in baseball. When your team stinks, like the current Tigers do, all of the procedural stuff that he likes to do, that I'm not blaming him for doing, because that's his style. But that style right now is not benefiting the Tigers, because all of these moves that he's making aren't helping the team. Right. It's overthinking it.
The thing you and I agree on is he's a good manager.
100%. Right? And I'm never going to be a guy that, like, when they're good, when he does a pinch hit, when he does this and that, I don't disagree with that stuff, because it works out more often than it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Not this year.
Not this year. You and I both think he's a good manager. Whether or not he's the right fit, I think is kind of now what we're questioning. I think if this brand of baseball, the lackadaisical, aloof stuff, continues once guys are back from injury, then I've probably seen enough and understand that it's time to be done if you're AJ Hinch and the Tigers. If I would have told you that we'd be having AJ Hinch, should he be the manager conversations before June, before the season started, I would have said no way. How could we have possibly been that bad of a start for us to be having those sort of conversations? Yet here we are. It's been that bad.
Yeah.
That was like
last in the division.
Worst case scenario, right? If I told you,
I think this is worst case scenario.
Yeah, I mean, if you play this season out 10 times over, everyone healthy at the very beginning, this actually might be the worst case scenario.
I agree. People in our YouTube chat are feeling the same way. Mike says, I've held off on saying this because I preached it so much last year, but this is a wild card team at best when healthy. Now 70 wins would be a good season for this team.
Remember, they were so hot to start the year that they were on pace to have 100 wins, and then they were a 500 team in the second half of the season. I think that's more so what they are than what they were in the first half of last year when we thought they could be the 1 seed.
It's a pretty large sample at this point.
The outlier is honestly, the getting really hot at the end of the year in 24 in the first half of last year. That's the outlier compared to what everything else has been. We got a text that says, who's your replacement for Hinch then? That's the thing. Like, I admittedly am like, I don't have one. I'm not calling for him to be fired.
Yeah.
I'm just simply questioning whether or not the chess player is the right fit for what the Tigers need right now. Is it what the Tigers need? I don't know. I don't think so.
Right. And maybe it will be once they get back to being healthy, because they'll start to win some more games. But, like, once again, we'll continue to harp on this. How deep is this hole going to get dug out before they get healthy again? because right now it feels like it's endless. And when is it going to end?
Jay says the Tigers players have the same energy as their manager. There's not one real leader on the team, and they show no anger or no emotions when they're losing. If Leland was in charge here, I promise you that they would be showing a little bit more emotion, and losing would not be acceptable. Yeah.
And even we talked about this the other day when Hinch got ejected last week. It was almost like it was like happy to see it. I was like, this is nice to see Hinch getting. No, he was actually upset, and I think he was upset because the ref or the ump was completely in the wrong, and so it was just like refreshing to see. Like, oh, this guy is mad. Like the losing is getting to him, and maybe that is what it takes, because we have another YouTube chat. Luke is saying that Hinch makes him soft, and it all stems back to the culture of this team. Like, sure. I mean, when they're winning, it's fine. But when all this losing is going down, it is always going to be fingers pointed back to Hinch.
Yeah, the culture is not good right now. It's just not. And even when the culture was at its best, and they were this fun, gritty team that just, like, I don't know, it felt like their number one priority was just go out there and have fun. It wasn't go crush their competition. Fun can't really happen when you're losing games. The wanting to kill your competition can carry over. You know what I mean? Like, even when you're losing, that can still be a mentality and a mindset to have. The fun stuff is like, that comes and goes. So, I do question it, man. I really do. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We're live here on the Mitt. We'll be taking more Mitt messages as the day goes on. You don't have to be a pro to get pro-level health care. Whether you're hitting the gym, the field, or staying active, Covenant Healthcare Sports Medicine helps you prevent injuries, recover quicker, and keep doing what you love. I know what I love, and that's the Ben Bosscher Show, live here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, we'll circle back to the Detroit Tigers. Let's see what's going on in the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
Okay, let's just dive right into it since we already teased it a little bit in that previous segment. Looking at the Covenant Healthcare injury report, Justin Verlander did make a bullpen session start yesterday, whatever you want to call it, a 4-inning simulated game. So it was like a real, trying to get as many pitches in as possible with 62 of them. Yeah, gave up solo home runs, 2 of them to Wenzel Perez, 1 to Jahmai Jones, 3 strikeouts, got up to 96 miles per hour with his fastball. That's from Chris McCoskey on Twitter. Really tough to give up 3 home runs to those guys, especially with how tough they have been this season. And the fact, I just can't get over the Jahmai Jones has 0 hits versus right-handed pitching this year and hit a home run off Verlander.
Do we think Verlander's
sign.
giving it 100 though, or is he kind of just working on things, or is this a real no, try to get him out situation, or is this just a feel it out, see what feels good? I don't know.
Probably a mix of both. Yeah, you're right. I really don't know either. But nonetheless, at least it's a good sign that Verlander did this. Now, it not going well obviously isn't great, but at least he is to the point where he's doing it. So
I guess it's a sign. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's a sign.
It's something, which is something I guess is better than nothing. Who knows? Okay, last night we had the best series on planet Earth in the history of the NBA. Game 2, OKC San Antonio take place. OKC ties it up at 1-1. It started to get really close in the fourth quarter, but OKC does even things up. We had an injury on each side in this game. First off, Jalen Williams exited early in the game for OKC. He's been dealing with an injury all playoff long, a hamstring injury. Same thing on the flip side for San Antonio. Dylan Harper leaves game 2 with a hamstring injury. So these are 2, of course, very important players for both sides. Unfortunate to see this, but nonetheless, series is headed to San Antonio. Tied up at 1.
Yeah, Wemby's reached Kareem territory where you're just allowed to hack. It's maybe more Shaq territory where you're just allowed to hack him at all times now. Throughout the game yesterday, Hartenstein's just holding him down, hitting him underneath, not below the belt in the groin, but just trying to hit him as much as possible. And none of them are really called. That's the only way there is. The only explanation.
Hartenstein was kind of going off yesterday, though.
Oh, he was.
I mean, he was all over the glass.
The only way they can slow down Wemby is literally just drag him around through the mud. I was thinking yesterday too, these teams clearly don't like each other in a big time way. They've already reached the point in this series where they can't stand each other and it's only game 2. And I feel like that probably started before game 1 even happened with how the regular season went. And I look at Wemby and there was a play where he got called for a charge. Everyone goes tumbling down. And he pops up and runs back down the court to get back on defense. It's a dead whistle. He's back on defense before Hartenstein and Chet even stand up. They wait for some teammates to come over and help him up. And Chet's just and Wemby just pops up and runs back down the court. This guy wants the smoke in every way. He doesn't want to be friends with his peers the way that, a lot of players did for a while there. He just wants to kill everyone in front of him. And unless you're on the Spurs, you're basically his enemy. I love it. I love this guy. I want him to win. I want him to keep playing. I want to keep watching him.
Yeah, Shea led the way with 30 ball in this one. I thought that, we talked about this earlier, but that arena, the Paycom Center, it was so loud in game 2. It was so loud anytime OKC scores all playoffs long, but yesterday I was like, oh my goodness, this place is going berserk after they would get 3 offensive rebounds in the same possession. I'm actually happy that it worked out this way, that they won this one, because I want it to be 1-1 going back to game 3.
Yeah.
I just want this to go 7, and this is the best way of it doing it. So we have game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals going on tonight. Cavs-Knicks game 2, that's at 8. The Knicks, of course, stormed back to win game 1, so they're up 1-0. Likely going to go up 2-0 tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this one's got Knicks written all over it. Would Steph Castle be the second best player in this series? Because he's so good, man. He's just been killing it since the playoffs have started,
in the
other than
series?
the turnover. I'm just asking.
No.
third.
I mean, Mitchell and Brunson and Cat, I think, just own the top three.
Okay.
Castle has been great though. Like I don't want to like discredit him. I just think that might be a little aggressive. That dunk he had last night was
Ooh. That's about as nasty as it gets in the playoffs.
that was unbelievable.
For a 6'5" guy, that's about as good as you can possibly get.
Lot of turnovers for him though. That's something that similar to Cade. You know, you can credit him a lot for everything else, but the turnovers certainly are a little bit of an issue. Okay, more in the news. Shohei Ohtani yesterday had himself a huge day, pitching and hitting wise. He was on the mound, yet he hits a leadoff home run for the Dodgers. So it's always the best when he hits a home run while the days that he's pitching. He goes 5 scoreless with 4 Ks, picks up the win as well, and then, of course, had the home run. Ohtani just continuing to have his stellar season. We also got news from Aaron Rodgers.
Wait. Do you want to guess what Shohei Ohtani's ERA is right now?
It's still below 1. I'm just trying to think if it's below, like, half, if it's below 0.5. I think it is.
0.37. I'm sorry, 0.73. 0.73.
Oh, okay. So he's given up like 3 runs this season, I think, like total. I'm pretty sure he's given up. That can't be more than like 5 runs.
He's pitched in 49 innings and has given up 4 runs.
4.
And two of them were just home runs.
I want him to win the Cy Young.
Yeah, me too.
It'd be unbelievable. Just to say that, yeah, we get to watch that guy. Like, because it was always a thing, because he had a couple years at the end of his LA run, or the Angels run. It was like, okay, like this guy is also like in a contention to win the Cy Young. Like he's that good of a pitcher.
He was like top 5 in strikeouts.
Yeah,
like,
he's always been an elite strikeout pitcher. Right now, to win the Cy Young, Ohtani is plus 500. He's third.
What?
Skeens and Sanchez still kind of dominating right now because they've been so good. Chris Sale, Jacob Mizorowski are also in the mix. So obviously it's only May, but still very interesting to take a look at. Okay, let's move on.
Ohtani just won't have the innings that those guys will.
Right, exactly. But the earned runs and the strikeouts speak for themselves. Aaron Rodgers yesterday, we said, was it going to be the last news once Rodgers said he was returning back to the Steelers? No, we were wrong. How foolish of us to be. Aaron Rodgers says he plans to retire after this season, so this will be his final season in the NFL. Are we going to get like I don't know how this works in the NFL. You know, the NBA, you always get like the tour of, oh, it's your last year, this and that. We're going to celebrate you every place you go. Are we going to get that with Aaron Rodgers?
That doesn't happen in football. No, these guys want to smoke each other. The other team's trying to knock his helmet off. They're not buddy giving him a signed football by everybody before the game. Absolutely not. Maybe after the game they'll be nice, but there's not going to be like any pregame. Oh, give a round of applause for Aaron Rodgers. Hell no. What place is like Aaron Rodgers? What city would be like?
Green Bay?
You know what? Would they?
I mean, they
had dumpster
if it
fire
was
when
his
he
last. If it was his last year, I would assume they did that.
Maybe. I mean, he also like.
I also don't think they play Green Bay this year.
No, they.
They play him in preseason.
Maybe it's a preseason. Where is that one at?
In Pittsburgh.
Yeah. He also like lit a match, poured gasoline everywhere, and threw the match onto the gasoline, and then walked out on his way out of Green Bay.
Yeah,
like it was messy, man.
It was messy, but I think the fans still appreciate Aaron Rodgers. I would assume they do.
Maybe.
I mean, he did win a Super Bowl. I think just winning a Super Bowl in general kind of gives you the stamp of approval. We'll do one more thing here in the news, and we'll save the rest for later. NHL, all that other stuff. Joey Chestnut is where we're going to end things. He is going to do the hot dog competition this year on July 4th, but he's on probation. So he will be competing
what does that even mean?
While on probation because he beat somebody up in a bar last summer.
Oh, like a real probation. I thought you meant like a hot dog
no.
probation.
He's like actually on probation, but will be competing in the hot dog competition while doing so. So if you didn't think Joey Chestnut already was the GOAT, this is like the chance to actually believe it.
All right. We will be back in the 10 o'clock hour momentarily.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Yeah, 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN. Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Let's switch gears. We'll get back to the Tigers in the 11 o'clock hour. I got some football and some basketball to get to now. I'm going to throw out 3 names for you, Kyle. You have to tell me in order which guys you'd rather the Pistons target. Kawhi Leonard, KD, or Kyrie Irving? The Unks. Which one of these guys would be the best addition for the Detroit Pistons?
And where's option D?
Which is?
None of the above.
Okay. You're just out on all of this.
Yeah, I'm out on all of it, but I will choose one. Look, it's tough. They all come with major negatives. That's the issue. Like they all come with major negatives. Now, I think the reason why you would say pick any of the 3 of these guys is like if they strike out at any of the other guys that are more ideal for the Pistons, right? The younger dudes, the Trey Murphys, the Markkanens, the guys that we've talked about. So if it had to be like one of these 3 or nothing, I think I've talked myself into Kyrie Irving actually being the number 1 option. Kyrie, I have to rank them 1 through 3.
Well, we can just start with Kyrie.
Yeah, okay, let's do that.
With Kyrie, for me, I think he'd be second in terms of just these 3 guys, which one I'd want to add to the Pistons. The thing with Kyrie that scares me is he's on the wrong side of 30, 6'1", 6'2", and relies a lot on explosiveness, athleticism, and he's coming off the ACL injury. This is very reminiscent of Damian Lillard coming to Milwaukee and them expecting some big return after the Achilles, after the ACL, and then all of a sudden it's just like, yeah, he's just not the same guy anymore. The small guards, especially after soft tissue, lower body injuries, knee injuries, whatever it is, they come back and sometimes they're just not the same. And I think Kyrie's one of the most skilled guys that we've ever had in the league. That goes without saying. But if he lost a step or 2, even a half a step, he's just not the same guy. And where you have to see what he looks like post his ACL injury, he missed all of this year, I'd be a little hesitant to be buying that sort of asset on the wrong side of 30 as well. Because even without the ACL injury, a lot of the times these smaller guards just, the decline is sharp. It's a cliff. With that included in there, something about it is off-putting.
Once again, I need to preface, I'm being forced to choose one here. I think all 3 of them come with a high level of risk to move for, to give up anything for. So I'm with you in that fact. Kyrie, for me, like when you just think about things that the Pistons really needed this in the playoffs, it was a mixture of 2 things. They needed just shooting in general. They needed shooting and spacing, and they needed creation. And I think Kyrie brings that the most out of these 3 guys. Like, he brings all of it. Whereas, like, KD and Kawhi obviously can still run the offense. I mean, they're number 1 options on both of their teams this season. They're spectacular scorers, for sure. I think Kyrie brings a different level of creation and ball handling that will at least take the pressure off of Cade.
For sure.
More than the other 2 will. The other 2 are better scorers, I would say. Kyrie is still very close with them. And they're bigger wings, better defenders. Like, they bring all of that. Kyrie it's kind of tough to hide him a little bit defensively. I think the Pistons are probably one of the better situations for that, though, because they have typically 4 other good defenders on the floor. So, yeah, the injury stuff is fair. I don't think it's the same as, like, the Dame stuff, though. Like, the Dame stuff was like, oh, my God, Dame and Giannis, best duo of this decade. No one's going to be saying that about Kyrie and Cade. Kyrie and Cade.
Well, no, Giannis was also a little bit like a level above Cade at the time that they got Damian Lillard.
A little, yeah. 100. He was way above him.
I just mean similar in terms of the expectations are one thing, and then what it actually is a pretty different reality.
Right.
For a player guard on the wrong side of 30 who's also under 6'3" and relies a lot on that first step explosion. Which might just not exist after this injury.
I also think that out of the 3 of them, he would be the cheapest to acquire.
That's probably true. For all the reasons I just laid out as to why I think he'd be second for me, I think he would be the cheapest. He's got 2 years left on his deal.
At a pretty solid price, like right around $40 million. Like that's fair for current day Kyrie Irving.
Yeah. But I guess we don't really know what current version Kyrie Irving necessarily looks like right now. That's the only downside. I'm not 110% out on it the way I'm 110% out on a Kevin Durant trade to the Pistons. Consider me all good, man. Look at the trail that he has left as to every single locker room that he has been in. Going all the way back to OKC didn't end in a way that was disturbing until he actually left, but nonetheless, he walked away and it was ugly. Him and Draymond could not get along at all. Couldn't set aside their differences for the greater good of the team. Egos collide, personalities collide. There was no getting between those guys. And then just like that, the Warrior situation's done. He constructs this Kyrie, KD, James Harden, Nets team. Too many personalities. Only one ball to share between everybody. Doesn't work out. And then with the Suns, they go there. They have these big expectations. Everyone looks miserable the entire time he's there. And the second he leaves, look at that. Everybody's playing a little bit harder. Everyone looks like themselves again. He goes to Houston this year, and all that stuff about the Burners Twitter account comes out, and he's just trashing his teammates online. It falls apart pretty quickly, and it feels like if you're Houston, you wasted a season by bringing Durant in, thinking that was going to be the biggest difference maker, and just like that, you're looking to move him again this offseason because it didn't work, and you wasted a year of really putting the ball in your young players' hands. Consider me all set on Kevin Durant coming to this team, poisoning the locker room, the culture that they've built here, and when things get rough, it's everybody else's fault but his. He's pointing to Asar. He's pointing to Jalen Duren. There's no accountability with him. I think he's a selfish player, and for that reason, he is way last on those three guys that I just named. I am completely out on any idea of Kevin Durant coming to the Pistons, and he will be on the chopping block, the trade block this year.
Yeah, 100%. Can I play devil's advocate a little bit?
Sure.
I want to once again reiterate that I am pretty much on board with you here, that trading for any of these guys I'm just out on. But the case for Durant, first off, is that the other two guys have major injury concerns. And Durant is just the healthiest of all of them. Right? He has been healthy in the playoffs year in and year out.
Okay, but like
the other two haven't. The other two haven't.
I know, but
Kawhi
we can't
Leonard
say that
is
about
the
Kevin
complete
Durant.
opposite.
We can't say that about KD. He just missed a playoff series. He was not active in the playoff series. The Houston
you're right.
was just in.
Sure, that's fair. He's still by far the healthiest of those three guys. If you want to go history, if you want to go currently, you want to go do any of it.
Sure. I think you're right.
Like, as far as the risk of trading for, you're trading for one of these guys to help you win a playoff series, and multiple of them, right? KD is at the top of that list.
He'll play 65 games.
And will most likely be healthy for the playoffs. You are right in the fact that, yes, he was injured in this past playoffs, which makes things tough.
Kawhi played 7 games the last time they were in the playoffs, by the way.
What about
they only
the
played
6
one
series
round.
he was in before that?
Yeah, I know. But if we're talking who can get through a series healthy, the last guy to do that was Kawhi Leonard.
I mean, if you want to be that delusional, then I will allow you to be that delusional.
That is a factual statement. The last guy to play a full playoff series healthy was
And then
Kawhi
when was
Leonard.
the last playoff series he played healthy before that one?
You'd have to go back a while.
Oh, the bubble.
Yes.
Like, come on. Like that's kind of where I'm going here. So if you want, like, KD from a health perspective, it has the least amount of risk added to it. It's also not like he sustained some serious injury in the playoffs either that's going to keep him out for next season or anything. And the other thing with KD is that on paper, if this was just a basketball thing, I think he is the best fit for the Pistons.
So I would push back and say it's Kawhi.
Okay.
I think Kawhi fits the defensive identity that the Pistons have, even if he's not the same defensive player of the year type of guy he was when he was with San Antonio and when he was with Toronto.
But
he's still
close.
A really good defender. His offensive game is as good as it's ever been before. It's someone to take a little bit of the pressure off of Cade. I think he's a better ball handler and offensive creator outside of beyond Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant can get himself a lot of buckets. I think Kawhi, you don't really want him running the offense, but I think he's a little bit better at it than Kevin Durant at this point in his career. I think the defense is probably what puts it over the top, though.
Sure. I mean, I don't think that Durant is like a bad defender by any means.
He's not.
I think he's actually pretty fine. And the argument for the Kawhi season that he just had is fair because the level of scoring just took a huge notch up. I mean, even to me, like in my brain, Kevin Durant is the more higher volume 3-point shooter, and he just wasn't this year. Like, Kawhi shot almost 7 threes a night this year. That's unheard of. That was like 2 more than he had previously taken in his career. So, like, the scoring took a different level this year for him. So I'm with you from that perspective.
I also think with Kawhi versus KD, you're going to get a little, like, the offense doesn't have to be catered for Kawhi. I think the beauty about Kawhi Leonard is basically any team in the history of the league he would just fit onto and it'd be a good fit. Whereas Kevin Durant, I mean, you have to kind of run your offense through Kevin Durant in a big way.
I mean, Kevin Durant got added to the 73-win Warriors with Steph Curry. Like, I don't think that offense was catered to him by any means.
No, I mean, that's an exception because it just worked because you had 2 of the top 3 players in the sport on the same team. But I think if Durant joined the Pistons, he's a little bit more anal about getting the ball way more often than Kawhi would be. I think Kawhi would be fine some nights, just kind of not coasting, but
I mean,
letting the offense run natural.
That's just you saying I feel like that would be the case. I mean, like, Kawhi took more shots, was a higher usage rate than Durant this year. Like, I think they're similar. I think they're similar.
Sure. There's also, like, evidence even this year that Durant would get pissy at the end of the games. I mean, he gets the body
we're not
language
talking about
Kevin.
that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the on-paper stuff, right? That was this part of the take.
Sure.
Because I agree with you with that other stuff. Yes, the other stuff is for sure. Kawhi is a much more even keel guy than the Durant situation.
Yeah, he won't complain. He just won't say anything.
100%. Sure. Yeah, exactly. And so the reason why I would maybe lean KD over Kawhi is the last part of this. The contract situation really makes me nervous for both of these guys. Durant is they're both essentially going into the final year of their deal. Durant has a player option on the back end of it. You assume that guys at this point in this career are just going to turn that down and try to get a 2-year deal every time they get a player option kind of thing. And so Kawhi just does have this stuff going on with aspiration, man.
Yeah.
He just really, and it's just
feels like if nothing's happened yet, though.
I agree, but like I have no idea how that's going to go down.
And also, isn't it the Clippers that are probably going to get in trouble, not Kawhi Leonard?
I mean, he literally is a part of it, though.
I know, but
yes, you would think so.
I just don't like if someone comes to the player and is like, "Hey, we'll give you this and this and this and this and this through this," though. I just don't really get like what is he supposed to do? Go rat out on his team? Go tell Adam Silver?
Sure.
Like it's a really tough position to put the player in. When in reality, it should just be the organization and the owner's fault for all of this going down and orchestrating all of it.
I also think that because we can't act like Kawhi has been this perfect, like, off-the-court guy in his career either. You know, things ended pretty poorly for him in San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
He won a title with Toronto and left. Like,
I wouldn't say things ended poorly, though. He just never really wanted to be there.
Exactly. And so I think Durant would be much more likely to re-sign with the Pistons than Kawhi Leonard would be. Because he has re-signed with most of the teams he has been traded to. Now, it's always ended poorly, sure, but, like, he has signed the extension. Kawhi Leonard has only signed the extension with the Clippers because he's from L.A. He likes being in Los Angeles. He's a West Coast kid.
Which, if they got Kawhi and got to sign him to a 2-year extension, I'm, like, super all in. I think it's a perfect fit. If it's Kawhi and you know you're not getting the extension, that probably makes him a little cheaper, right? And you don't actually have to give up all that much to go get a guy on an expiring contract, and then by the time
I mean, they're basically all expiring
way more
deals,
money anyway.
Yes, right. I think all three of these guys aren't going to be that expensive, but Kawhi, to me, is the most expensive one.
Really?
Based off of the year that he just had.
He's also an
expensive
the only guy
from
on expiring. Now.
Expensive from the extension he's going to get. Durant is at the point in his career where he's a 2-year deal guy, I think, the rest of his career. And Kyrie might be the same way. Kawhi Leonard, I think, has got another 4-year deal in him.
Really?
I think so.
36?
I mean, he just had the best offensive year of his career. You can't say the same about Durant and Kyrie.
He's 34.
He's younger than those guys, and he just had the best year of his career. Like that to me is more expensive.
I mean, Kyrie and Kawhi are the same age. They're both 34 years old.
Yeah, but Kyrie is coming off of a significant injury.
And is the small guy.
Yeah.
And those guys typically don't play as
And
long.
I'm with you in the fact that I think Kawhi is the best player of these three. If we were strictly just doing that, like, okay, the Pistons should just go get the best guy. Kawhi is the best guy. They all come with extreme baggage, and there's different concerns, and it's just kind of what do you prioritize? I would love if they could just do Trey Murphy instead of any of these three.
Sure.
But
I am obsessed with the starting lineup, though, of Cade, Asar, Kawhi, Tobias, and JD.
Oh, wow. You think they would do that instead of just like
The big lineup.
keep Duncan maybe and just he's the spacer? I mean, there's
Who are you benching?
just Tobias.
Yeah, I mean,
In my
even
brain,
that
Kawhi
case,
and Tobias is a little like
redundant.
and you don't have a true spacer.
Yeah, you're probably right. So it'd be Cade, Duncan,
Asar, Kawhi, Duran. You're right. That sounds extremely fun. That sounds awesome.
The spacing is automatically fixed for the most part. You have two like truly immaculate defenders with Asar and Kawhi. I think Kawhi would be the second best perimeter defender on the team. That sounds great. The thing, I think, to go back to the on paper thing, the reason I would have Kawhi above a KD, I think he can play basically the 2, the 3, or the 4. You can basically, he's a positionless player, whereas KD, you're not running him at the 2.
KD was like the point guard of the Rockets this year. He was. I mean, that's the one thing about KD is like that situation. I know we want to act like it's all KD's fault. That might have been the worst situation of his career this year in Houston. Oh, that was gross.
Yeah, in terms of the fit on paper, I think he didn't help any of the matters though. By,
of course not.
Trashing all of his teammates online. Who would you rather have if you're a Pistons fan? One of the Ks, Kawhi, KD, or Kyrie. Who's the best fit? It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Edward Jones, if you're looking for a steady hand when it comes to your financial future, Kevin Spencer with Edward Jones right here in our community takes the time to understand what matters most to you. He helps build a strategy to help get you there. Reach out to Kevin Spencer at Edward Jones today because your goals deserve a plan that's personal.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on Pair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Who would be the Pistons' top target? I think you and I are both in agreement that it's Trey Murphy. We just threw out a couple other veterans that maybe would be good fit for the Detroit Tigers. Let's see what some people for the Pistons. Thank you. Let's see what some fans have to say as well. We didn't even throw out Lauri Markkanen, Trey Murphy. Ken says Markkanen would be a different dimension needed in the playoffs. Imagine if we had him in these playoffs this past time around. I think we would have beaten Cleveland. I think we could have had a lot lesser of an addition and beaten Cleveland, considering it got pushed to a Game 7 at
Anyone
home.
that, played in the playoffs, I think could have helped.
One singular top 8 guy would have helped.
Could have
win
been the
series.
8th guy. Yeah, exactly. The fact that the guy they traded for was Kevin Huerter, and he didn't even really play in the playoffs. Meaningful minutes, that is.
And Markkanen's a bona fide all-star. You have him, and I feel like you're going toe-to-toe with the Knicks right now. Lowry's the best offensive option they could probably add.
Yeah, his deal is the toughest, unless you're doing the Giannis thing, of course. But it's from a realistic, Lowry feels like the peak guy that is realistic the Pistons could get. He's under contract until the 2029 season, where he'll be $53 million that year. It's not the worst in the world. It's just a lot, especially once you pay
For a guy
Jalen
who's
Duren.
not really
a star player.
A playoff proven player at all. Does
Sure,
that
but,
part of it concern you? The fact that he hasn't really had any real playoff experience?
No, I think it would be more concerning if he had a playoff run and it didn't go well, because it's oh man, are we doing the Julius Randle thing right now, where this guy kind of just is pretty awesome in the regular season, all-star caliber, puts up really good numbers, and then stinks and is overpaid in the playoffs?
Yeah.
That would be unfortunate, yeah. But the fact that he hasn't been there yet, I don't necessarily think is his fault.
No. And I think that now that the Pistons have enough playoff experience under their belt between the last 2 years, it's hey, Lowry, just so you know, this is about to get crazy, and they can kind of help embrace him into that a little bit.
And Markkanen, it feels like the best guy they could go get, is also going to be the most expensive from a trade asset standpoint. You're going to give up a ton to get him.
Yeah, that's looking like probably Stu, Holland,
all your firsts that you can trade.
4 firsts. Yeah. Pick 21 this year.
And they'll probably ask for Asar Thompson. Obviously, the Pistons would not trade him in a Markkanen deal, but certainly they would ask. Yeah, it's tough.
Richard says, how about Jaylen Brown? I wouldn't mind Kawhi, but he's got the investigation going on. Feels like Jaylen Brown is 90% of that.
I mean, I guess I didn't really include him. He probably actually is the real peak guy that you could go get.
It's the most ideal fit, isn't it?
Now, you want to talk about expensive money-wise.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown is about as bad as it gets. I mean, the guy's going to be making $64 million in 2029.
And that's what? Top 5 salary that year probably right now?
Yeah, he's got 3 years left on the deal. It goes 57, 61, 64. That is an extremely high number.
I also just don't think the Celtics would trade him to the Pistons and then have to play them in the playoffs next year potentially. I don't think that would happen. You never know, but
right.
I feel like that's unlikely to send him to a team that you're likely going to run into in the playoffs.
I would agree that I think it's more unlikely. It's another situation where his trade value is probably even higher than Lauri Markkanen's. So he's 30, I guess. So, I mean, he's not getting younger. Jaylen Brown's going to be 30 next season. That's really weird to think about. Feels like he's not that old. I also just don't really like Jaylen Brown. My bias is going to come in here. Not a big fan of him. I don't like when he went on stream the other day and said a curse word at Stephen A. Smith. I didn't like that.
Seems like what he's doing is very articulate, though. There's some intent behind what he's doing. I feel like he wants to get traded.
I mean, everyone knows Jaylen Brown. He's the smartest guy in the NBA from a brains standpoint. He was an extreme scholar at Cal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I would agree. There probably is something there.
Bill says Lowry, Porter Jr., book, but his money might not be a fit. How about DiVincenzo as an upgrade to LeVert? I got bad news for you, Bill. Yeah. DiVincenzo won't be playing next year.
Yeah, he tore his ACL a week ago. DiVincenzo on paper would be sick, though. The guy shoots a ton of threes.
Wen says, #23, but not for a heavy price. Yeah.
LeBron.
Brother,
the king.
You and I can dream. I don't think that's going to happen, though. But it would be a nice ideal fit.
Not 2, not 3,
That's how many rings the Pistons would get if they got Bron.
Another text that said, we'll look at what we need, but I think it's a ball handler, a second scoring option, and a dose of passing as well. Someone to take some pressure off of Cade Cunningham. Yeah, you wrapped it up. You know who does all those things?
LeBron. Right? Yeah. I mean, look, if we're going to do the on paper thing, LeBron actually, like,
the best fit.
The fit in Detroit not only is good for the Pistons, it's good for him. Like, he's needed. Rather, everyone's like, oh, you should go to Cleveland. They don't need LeBron.
Or
LeBron would be needed.
I think you're mostly right, but is that also a situation where, like, he tries to do his post-up thing? That I mean, I'm just convinced LeBron.
It's LeBron.
No, but I know. I think LeBron can get his post-up game versus literally anybody in the league. He's just like a brick wall. But with Asar and Jalen Duren, is that a good fit? Probably not.
Yeah. It's
Probably
also just never going to happen, so it's not something we have to actually worry about.
One can dream, though. One can dream. A younger, bona fide number one point guard, whoever that would be. That's a text from Byron. A lot of people that don't really think Cade's a point guard. I don't really agree with that at all. I kind of just want the ball in his hands as much as possible.
You could just say like another guard to throw in the mix.
And that'd be like an Ayo Dosunmu who likely just ends up back in Minnesota.
I would assume so.
You don't really trade for a guy without the intention of keeping him, especially if he's going to play as good as he did in the playoffs for you.
I do think a name that Pistons fans should keep an eye on is Norman Powell. I do think that could be absolutely a guy that they target. He is just straight up a free agent.
One-time All-Star.
Was an all-star this year. Yeah, had a really good year, and him or Tyler Hero will be gone from the Heat. They literally didn't play. They played like 20 total minutes together last season. They just couldn't play them together. They're both previous all-stars in their career. You can't have both of those guys on the team if they're not going to play together. So he's going to be available. He's a need that the Pistons could really have, and I think he's going to want to go to a situation that fits him well, and he would still get a ton of shots here. I think it's a good fit, depending on his price.
That's so funny to me. Pistons trade for all-star Norman Powell. He's one of the more random all-stars we've ever had.
10 years from now, we're going to be like, Norman Powell was an all-star. It's like the Goran Dragic all-star year. It's like, Dragic was an all-star. Dragic not only was an all-star, he was an all-NBA player as well. Very odd.
And then he was great in the finals, or in that whole run in the bubble for
He was
Miami.
Great, exactly.
Last text. Jennifer says, not Kyrie, aging, coming off an ACL tear. Kawhi's a liability because he's constantly hurt. Maybe Markkanen. God. Any one of these guys would be such a great addition, I feel like. Again, I'm not like, as I stated yesterday, I'm not so adamant that they have to be an all-in move, but they got to add a starter somewhere. And I think Lowry or Trey Murphy or Kawhi would suffice me.
Would almost be
well.
shocked if they didn't add a starter. Yeah.
The Lowry stuff truly is like the best fit. I mean, Trey Murphy's probably the best fit, but either Lowry or Trey Murphy, and I feel pretty comfortable being like, yeah, the Pistons can win the title this year. You added, in Lowry's case, 7-footer, in Trey Murphy's case, 6'8" guy. Two guys that would just automatically be the best catch-and-shoot guys on the team outside of Duncan Robinson, who's...
Yeah, but just at like an extreme volume, though.
Yeah, like Duncan's, I don't even consider him necessarily a catch-and-shoot guy as much of a... I mean, that's what he does, but he's like running off the dribble. In terms of like just creating space, hey, go stand over there. Lowry and Trey Murphy don't miss from those type of shots. So to be able to bring size, rebounding from those people.
They also shoot over 8 threes a game, both of them. Like, that is just absolutely what they need.
And in Lowry's case, someone who can just kind of like, you can kind of run offense through Lowry in a lot of ways too. Like, just give him the ball and he can start backing guys down and stuff's just going to happen. I like it a lot. I like both of the fits. Also a vertical spacer. Like, nobody gives Lowry credit for that, but you can throw lobs to Lowry.
Oh, yeah, he will dunk on dudes. I mean, both Murphy was in a dunk contest. Like, both of them are pretty athletic.
Yeah, I think those are my two best number one candidates, right? I'd have Kawhi probably third.
You seem to be all in on this Kawhi thing, man.
Really like Kawhi.
I like Kawhi too, man. It's just, you're about a 30% chance he plays for you in the playoffs. I don't love that.
989-837-6125. We'll take a trip around the league when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Randy's Green Thumb, they've been proudly serving the Midland area with family-owned friendly service since 1982, offering everything from fresh floral arrangements and vibrant house and outdoor plants to expert landscape and interior plant service. They also design, maintain, and install beautiful gardens, ponds, trees, and shrubs, helping both teams, homes, and businesses thrive with greenery that lasts. Visit Randy's Green Thumb at Poseyville Road and bring brilliant color to life and inspiration to your space this season.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, let's work a little football in. It's time for us to take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
First of all, I've been meaning to do this for a while. I left myself a note but keep forgetting. I do want to shout out a couple of people that we saw at the Loons game last weekend, Friday or Saturday. I don't remember. We had two listeners, Ashton and Alex, both, 8 and 5 years old. Man, they loved the show. They made my day. I think they made Kyle's day as well. Brought him up here to the studio. They asked for a shout out, so I figured I'd give it to him.
Shout out to those guys. Yeah, they had ball knowledge too.
Oh, who's that ball signed by? Grant Hill?
Yeah, this ball back here, Grant Hill signed by. He goes, yeah, it's signed by Grant Hill. Oh, the all-time triple doubles leader for the Detroit Pistons.
Ball knowledge.
I don't even know if I knew that. I mean, I probably did, but I don't know if I did.
He just had it off the dome.
He just had it ready to go.
Shout out to those guys. Let's take a trip around the league here. I've got some rapid-fire NFL questions for you, Kyle. We'll run through these, bunch of them. Hopefully we can get through them all. Maybe not. Which NFL team is getting way too much hype right now? You want me to go first? I got an answer.
Sure.
The Giants. I know I've said this before. I just don't see it with Jackson Dart. To me, that's a guy who, when he panics, wants to put his head down and run. We've seen these guys in the NFL for a while. They'll last. Will they ever get over the hump? Who knows? Neighbors and Scatterboo, but both coming off ACL and Achilles injuries as well. I don't know, man. I just don't see it with the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, you've kind of been on this for a while.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
That's fair. I think they're going to have a good season. But I do agree with you in the fact that, everybody is all in on, the Giants' comeback season, if that's fair.
Yeah, people are saying they're going to be the Patriots this year. I don't get that one.
Yeah, I don't get that one either.
You have a different team?
That is getting too much hype right now, you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that there's always a certain level of hype going into a year for the Cincinnati Bengals. Just each season, it's this is the year for them. This is the year, Joe Burrow, this, that, blah, 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 whatever you want to call it. Even Burrow, I had this in the news for later, but he said that this is the best team he's been on with the Bengals.
Yeah, dude, you haven't even gotten to training camp yet. I don't know how you can say that.
It's kind of what I think. So I would rock with the Cincinnati Bengals.
All right, more rapid fire. Which playoff team from last year is the most likely to miss this season? I have Pittsburgh, and I have no other notes.
Okay. What is going on? Sorry, I'm dealing with something right now.
I can run through these.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, I have Pittsburgh. They don't have Mike Tomlin anymore to make sure that they go 9-10 wins every single year. So I got Pittsburgh as the team to miss the playoffs. Rapid fire NFL. One team nobody's talking about that could surprise people. I'll go with the Titans. If Cardinal Tate can be something, this year's first receiver off the board, then I think that they actually have something cooking over in Nashville. Dable's next guy can be Cam Ward. He's had Josh Allen. He's had Daniel Jones. He's had Dart. They've all, at the very least, produced. So I think Cam Ward's probably going to fit into that group as well. Which QB has the most pressure on them this season? I had a lot of different options. I ultimately landed on Lamar Jackson. New head coach, since he didn't like the last one. He's on his fourth offensive coordinator. Has always struggled in the playoffs, but last year really struggled in the regular season. He did not look like LaMarvelous Jackson, the MVP. He lost his superpower last year, and you can blame it on the injuries, but nonetheless, that can't happen again this year. So I'm going with Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. They missed the playoffs a year ago. Can't happen again. Which young player is about to become a superstar? I have Caleb Williams. Now, I think there's a lot of similarities between Josh Allen's first two seasons and Caleb Williams' first two seasons. Different builds, even though Caleb's just bigger than people give him credit for. That dude's huge. Not afraid to run people over. Not as big as Josh Allen, obviously. But their first two seasons are very similar. Clean up the crazy stuff. You got the highlights. You got the amazing throws that only such few quarterbacks can make. You got to make the easy stuff easy. You got to figure that stuff out. And for Josh Allen, it was the interceptions. For Caleb, it's the simple 5-yard out routes. It's the dig routes. Once they figure that out, I think we have a bona fide superstar on our hands the same way that Josh Allen was able to take that leap forward.
Isn't that kind of what makes Caleb Williams, though?
What?
The crazy stuff. That's why he is what he is. He just does crazy stuff, and a lot of it doesn't work.
I think the crazy stuff
I just don't know if that gets
enough.
cleaned up. If it gets cleaned up, then is he Caleb Williams?
But the crazy stuff for him isn't like the turnovers and stuff. He doesn't really throw a ton of interceptions. It's just the easy passes. Can you execute a simple 10-yard out route? That's the stuff I'm talking about with Caleb.
Yeah, that's fair.
Who's the most overrated coach in the NFL? I put down Matt LaFleur. 3-6 in the playoffs, 1-4 on the road in the playoffs. Not my type of coach. What offseason move will have the biggest impact? For now, I'm going to say McDuffie on the Rams, but in the near future, I think it's going to be A.J. Brown on the Patriots. That's the biggest move that can be made. As of now, I think it's the Rams adding an all-pro to their secondary, the only unit in which struggled on their team last year.
Well, I guess there isn't many major quarterback changes to go to this year because, usually that's going to be the most impactful as a QB change, but I don't think Malik Willis to Miami is going to be the most impactful move.
No. Which fan base should feel the worst about their team right now? Arizona. You have like the 28th best quarterback in the NFL, and he's holding out. Not a good start to the year.
And you just paid the highest running back ever, third overall, and the rest of your division rocks, and you've kind of always been the irrelevant team in there, and since 2010. Yeah.
And Kyler's probably about to ball out from Minnesota.
Yeah. Yeah, not very good.
I say Arizona.
You got Trey McBride, though.
Nice. Is the NFL becoming too offensive friendly? No, scoring's gone down for 4 straight seasons. Which NFL division is the toughest in football? I have the AFC West. I think there's a handful of different divisions you could select, though. I think the Chargers are legit this year if they can stay healthy. They've got Mike McDaniel, John Harbaugh. That's a pretty awesome 1-2 punch for their coaches. Justin Herbert coming off the best year of his career without an offensive line, and now he's got both his tackles back. I like what they have going. Obviously, I like what Kansas City has going. And then Denver, we'll see if they can repeat what they had last year, too.
I mean, and the Raiders had the first overall pick quarterback and didn't trade Max Crosby, I think.
True. Would you agree with that's division, or would you go with the NFC West or the NFC North?
I think the West almost has a better case than the North does. At the end of the day, I think the North just benefits from all the teams are the same level. But I don't think there's one super-duper elite team. Whereas the NFC West just has, I think, probably hands down the 2 best teams in the NFC, right?
For now, going into the
Seattle,
year,
yeah, for now. That's and then you have San Francisco on top of it, too, who just brings a legacy factor. So I would say, but I agree with you in the fact that it's the AFC West, yeah.
Which team has the biggest boomer bust season ahead of them? I said the Lions. There's a chance they could be the 1 seed. The division's good enough to where if things go poorly again, they could miss the playoffs, and that would be catastrophic. I don't see them being an average good team. It's either you had a super successful year or you missed the playoffs again. I would see a lot of in between.
I would rock with the Pats. Because they went 14-3 last year. They could just be really good again. And I think everyone's kind of counting on them to be downgrade. Or all of this offseason stuff could just really, really affect the team and they could be bad.
Which rookie are you the most excited to watch?
Blake Miller.
Keith
Derek
Abney.
Moore. Yeah.
I put down Fernando Mendoza.
I'll rock with Love just because I got him in a couple leagues.
What's the sneaky biggest storyline nobody's talking about? How about the fact that Mike Vrabel's doing marriage therapy with his wife right now?
Wait, that nobody's talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, he's in marriage therapy.
With his wife, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, nobody is talking about that. You're
Park
right.
City, Utah.
I haven't seen that.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say you probably shouldn't enter an NFL season at the same time you're trying to save your marriage as a head coach. I don't feel like any grown man can balance both of those things. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's too much on one dude's plate.
That's pretty good. I would say for a story that no one's talking about that people will be talking about in 2 months is that the Cowboys are just going into another season with another contract issue. That doesn't seem like a big deal right now, but George Pickens, I guarantee, will fight this, and it's going to become a story.
Won't want to play on the tag?
Yeah, exactly.
He signed the tag willingly.
I just think that it's going to be an issue.
Can I give another one, too? How about the fact that the Bears lost their starting center and just were a run-heavy team last year? This was one of the best power-running teams we had, and they just, lost their center.
That's pretty good.
Shouldn't just fly under the radar. Hey, nothing pairs better with game day than an ice-cold Yingling. Whether you're locked in for kickoff or tip-off or the final inning, it's got that crisp, smooth taste that just hits kind of right. Kind of like when your team is firing on all cylinders. It's one of those simple game day staples. You got your crew, TV's up loud. Now something cold is in your hand. So you're all set. Another round of Yingling, and now it really feels like game day.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The 101.9 The Mitt.
All right, let's wrap up the Pistons conversation, then we'll circle back to the Tigers to kick off the 11 o'clock hour. I think the more I think about this, Trey Murphy, top choice. Lauri Markkanen, second choice. Why was I about to say Kyle Lowry? Kawhi Leonard, I probably would have 3. I'm a little bit talking myself more into Kyrie Irving, but it's just really tough to trade for someone that you don't actually know. Not how healthy they are. I'm sure he's healthy, but like what percent of Kyrie Irving is he actually going to be? Is he going to be 80% of Kyrie? That'd still probably be an awesome addition for the Pistons. If it gets to like 60%, okay, now we're talking about someone who's probably a little overpaid, and it's tough to not know that even the slightest as to what version of Kyrie you're getting. I think Norman Powell would be an awesome fit as well. That's a less expensive one. I don't know if I love the Tyler Hero fit, to be honest. I feel like there's a lot of hero ball with him, pun intended, of like, hey, end of this game, get out of the way, everybody. This is my show. And maybe it's had to be like that in Miami because he's been the number one option. But I don't know. I get a little bit nervous about those type of players who are like, well, no matter what here, I'm taking this shot. It's just like, how about we just hunt the best shot? And I know Cade does that. So
Yeah, I mean, I almost feel like that's kind of what the Pistons need a little bit, though.
I'm fine with that off the bench. I don't know if that's
Just like a major shot chucker. They kind of need a guy like that.
I would be okay with that off the bench more so than I'd be okay with that as another guard for Cade.
Sure. And Hero's price is a little bit higher than a guy like Norman Powell, who's strictly going to be that. So, and you would have to trade for him, so that's fair. I think it is more likely, though. Like, I am just trying to prepare myself for them not getting Trey Murphy because it's so obvious. And the things that are always so obvious, do they ever really happen?
Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes they happen.
And hopefully this is one of those situations. I just am preparing myself for, okay, the Spurs lose to the Thunder, and their pivot is to use all their assets to trade for Trey Murphy because they just probably have better assets than we do to get him.
Yeah, probably.
That's same, or flip it for OKC, who for sure has better assets to go get him than we do.
Which is just criminal. The fact that they've positioned themselves to be they have the best teams and have just an enormous amount of assets.
So I'm preparing myself for that situation. And the marketing thing is different. I don't really think there's a lot of other teams that are in a position to trade for Lowry. It's just, do the Pistons want to give up that much? And does Utah even want to move him?
Yeah, that's
I don't even
probably
know.
the bigger thing.
Like, if they draft Darren Peterson second overall, they kind of have like a fun little core where they could be decent next year. They traded for Jaren Jackson at the trade deadline this past season. So, like, clearly there's some sort of motivation to be better next year.
Or is this
Peterson
now
is
that
now
we
the
have
star
a rookie,
of our team.
Yeah, let's move on, and we will be good 4 years from now rather than right now.
That makes sense. A lot of teams do that. Like you could say, oh, we want to keep the star player with our first overall pick or second overall pick, whatever. But you could also say we have now entered a new era with a new face of our franchise. Let's move off of the other guy and get assets for him while we can. I see both sides.
Your number one guy is Trey Murphy?
It's got to be.
I think that's most of the team's number one guy, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, because he feels available. And he is on an awesome contract and just is the type of player that literally every single team would want. There's no issue with fitting a guy like that into your team.
We got a text that says, I still believe the NBA fixed a way so Wemby went to the Spurs and was not a Piston. I cried that day. No, I didn't cry, but I had a cigar ready to be smoked. I thought the Pistons were going to be the next dynasty. I was ready for it. Wemby, Cade. And now that we've seen Wemby play out, I mean, we're just winning the finals this year if we have Wemby and Cade.
Duh.
Yeah, we're winning the next 7 finals.
And obviously a lot of things change, but I mean, I go back to that day a lot because I never thought we were getting the first pick. I'm just a believer that once you get it, you're not getting it again. I know the Timberwolves did, but in this new era,
the Cavs and the Magic.
But in this new era of the lottery, I was just like, you don't get it twice. And when that lottery, I manifested them getting Cade. Early in the season, and it actually happened. I didn't get that same feeling. Now, when number 5 came up, when they were, the worst team in the league, I was like, oh, I'm really sad right now.
Yeah.
Because there was also Brandon Miller, who I was really excited about, a guy
and
that
Scoot.
they could get. Scoot too, but with Cade, Miller just made more sense. And
Miller would be great on the team right now.
Hey, we got a SAR, man.
Oh, I was thinking it was the Ron Holland draft.
No, Ron was
Yeah, you're right.
the Rizachet draft.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I don't think the NBA rigged it for the Pistons to not get it. I do wonder if it was rigged for him to go to this.
Yeah, they certainly rigged it so that Portland didn't end up with
that would've
Victor
been
Wembanyama.
disastrous.
Yeah, so, they certainly rigged that part of it.
989-837-6125. You can put them on your team in 2K if you play that random texter. Appreciate everyone listening. Circle back to the Tigers. AJ Hinch, is he the right guy for the job? That is when we come back here on the Ben Bosscher Show.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
This is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
So the way that the Tigers season has gone, they would have to go 65-48 the rest of the way to get 85 wins. 65-48. This team, the rest of the way, to just achieve 85 wins. Not 100, not 90, not 95, 85. It seems like a really tall and daunting task right now for this Tigers team that, again, sits 5 games below 500, 8.5 back from first place, looking to avoid the sweep, the 4-game sweep today versus Cleveland. It's obviously been a very disastrous start to the season. They've lost a lot of games here, 13 of their last 15. And for the first time last night, I did start to wonder whether or not AJ Hinch is the right fit to be the manager for this team. I want to make one thing clear. I think AJ Hinch is a brilliant manager. I think he's really smart, forward-thinking, sees the game play out before it actually plays out. I don't know if that's what the Tigers need right now. I don't know if the Tigers need a chess player out there. They might need a boxer. They might need someone who's going and willing to wake this team up, to rip into his guys. Not saying like, oh, the Tigers need to get yelled at, but they kind of do need to get yelled at. I don't think A.J. Hinch would ever do that. He's the mastermind. He's the puppet master. They might need someone like Leland who just with a cigarette in his mouth just like, go screw up the other team. Go get him. Go get him. That's kind of what I feel like the Tigers need right now. A motivator, a leader as their clubhouse manager rather than this X's and O's brilliant mind that is A.J. Hinch. And I'm wondering if other Tigers fans are starting to share the same feelings that I am. I know there's a lot of Tigers fans that just don't like him and haven't liked him from the jump. I, for the most part, think he's done a great job. But then I think about it. First career with the Tigers, he's 414 and 446 as a manager. Over the last 3 seasons, he's 12 games over 500. You can't really forget about that collapse from last year where they went 7-17 in September. He's putting Riley in the 5-hole some nights. He's over platooning to the point where I don't think anybody can get in a rhythm. He's obsessed with never, ever playing the franchise player every day at what we thought was a franchise player every day. In Colt Keith at third base, only he's allowed to play versus the righties. It's just been a really weird season, and you start to point the fingers everywhere. And right now I feel like A.J. Hinch, we're all kind of looking at him like, are we sure that this isn't a lot on him? Like, look at the play that happened yesterday in the 8th inning. Zach McKinstry picked off at second base. That's lackadaisical stuff. That's not being locked in, everybody in lockstep with each other. Now, not once, not twice, but 3 times since the playoffs, including the playoff series versus Seattle, the Tigers pitching staff has tipped their pitches, and last night seemed to be the third example of it. At some point, you got to ask the manager, like, hey, how does this keep happening? How are you not relaying to your guy, like, guys, we can't be tipping pitches anymore. I know it's the pitcher's fault. You can look at Chris Fetter as well. A.J. Hinch has to be able to see that and be like, guys, this has happened 3 times. Enough with that. Stop getting backpicked. Hey, morons in the outfield, can we knock that off? Can we not just start diving at the most obscene balls possible? He pulls the starters early when the bullpen is not to be trusted. He's treating these games right here as if they're 1 of 162, when in reality, the Tigers' backs are against the wall for the rest of the season. I'm starting to wonder if he's the right fit for the Tigers and what they need in this moment in time, because I don't think they have a leader in the clubhouse on the team. Riley doesn't seem to be that guy. McGonigal can't do it as a rookie. A lot of nice guys, stand-up dudes, good people. No one to go out there with their chest out and be like, guys, we're not freaking losing today. It's just not happening. We're going out and we're winning this game if it's the last thing we do. I don't know if they have anybody that's doing that, and certainly not A.J. Hinch.
Yeah, Gary in our YouTube chat seems to be in lockstep with you. He says, as a manager, A.J. is good at playing chess games, but with our roster, we need a manager that's good at chutes and ladders. Just not a good fit right now. Doesn't mean he's bad.
Chutes and ladders. That's one I haven't thought of in a long time. But it's a good comparison.
Fun game.
It's a good comparison. They don't need someone to go overthink the game the way that A.J. Hinch is doing. They just need like a cowboy, someone to go out there that's ready to go. And I don't feel like they have that in A.J. Hinch right now.
No, they certainly don't. And like, obviously, it's not his fault that the Tigers are in the spot that they're in. And it's not his fault that he's managing a team that he wasn't meant to manage. Like, he does the over-management stuff, and he makes all the, nitpicky type of moves throughout these games that a lot of fans are upset with. But when they're doing good, when the team is performing well, that's what we praise A.J. Hinch for. Mm-hmm. And more often than not, it's been more praise than negativity, right? And now sometimes, like, even when the Tigers last year were performing well, he would make a pinch hit or take a guy out a little bit too early, and people are like, oh. Very specifically, you go back to Tarek Skubal getting pulled out of that Game 5 against Seattle. That's the one everyone likes to look at.
It's at 98 pitches, but yeah.
Yeah, I also think it was like a fair time to bring him out of the game, and they had plenty of opportunities to win it as well. But that's something that people looked back at. Like, Tarek Skubal, he pulled him out of the game too early. He's your Cy Young, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And so when the team is performing well, I've always been a Tigers fan that is A-okay with A.J. Hinch making all these moves, because that's where he shines. That's where he does show that I am one of the best managers in baseball. I am a guy that is better than the opposing manager in a playoff series, because I'm going to make the right moves to put my team in a position to win. When the team is in the spot they are right now, now 10 games below 500, when not just the options on the bench are poor, but the options that you're replacing are poor too. Like, are we really overthinking this pinch hitting Zach Short for Gage Workman and stuff like that? Like what are we doing here? I understand it's his philosophy, and that would be the argument that it's just not the right fit right now because his philosophy doesn't fit what they need.
And I'll admit to not having any replacements, or I'm not even saying I want him fired. Yesterday was the first time because they looked so dead after the game. It was right there for them to take. You go into the ninth inning with a lead. You completely blow it after, you almost extended the lead in the eighth inning and Zach McKinstry gets backpicked. And you can't hold the lead in the ninth inning. And it's just like, this is going to extras and they're going to lose. And you could feel how defeated they felt in the locker or in the dugout after the game. You could see it through the TV. It's like, oh no, something's just off about this entire squad. And I think maybe for the first time, they're now realizing it. Like game 1 against Cleveland, oh, we lost, whatever. Game 2, it's like, man, we probably should have won that game. Game 3, it's like, okay, guys, I don't know how it's taking you this long to realize it, but looks like they finally realized. You guys' backs are against the wall for the rest of the season. You've lost 13 of your last 15 games. It's time to wake up. Because they've sleptwalked through the last 3 games, or through the last 3 weeks, as if it's like, yeah, we're injured right now. It's early. No, wake up because it's about to be June. And your season might be over by the time June rolls around if you can't string together some wins here in the last stretch of May. And it feels like last night might have been the first time they realized it. And if they come out flat again today and don't have a wake-up call, yeah, there's going to be a real problem.
Yeah, Graydon in our YouTube chat saying the last 81 games for the Tigers, I believe this is just regular season games, 29-52.
That can't be real.
That's half a season. Now their last 81 games in general, they're 38-43. But
that's real?
But I believe that is including the postseason. So, yeah, it's been a large sample now for this Tigers team as far as their ability to win and lose these games.
I need to see this for myself. That is an unreal stat. Tigers last 81.
See, I'm seeing 31-50 now. I guess it is a little bit all over the place. Still, though, whatever it is, it's terrible.
I've got it as 29-52. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what Graydon had in our YouTube chat. Yeah,
God.
In the regular season, that is.
That's brutal, man. What is that win percentage? 29 of plus whatever
29
that is
divided by
together?
81.
Yeah. That's a 35 win percentage. You look at Major League Baseball
half a season, man. That is half a full season.
Right now. So what was this? I just said it was 38. Is that
35, I think.
35. There's only there's only 2 teams in baseball with a worse win percentage than that right now in the current standings. That's awful. You know what I wonder? Who has anyone had a worst record over the last 81 regular season games?
That might be a little bit more difficult to find.
Maybe. No, I got it.
Wow.
Last 81 regular season games.
The Angels got to be pretty bad.
Rockies 25-56, Angels 27-54, Tigers 29-52. Gross. That is a gut punch to hear. A whole half season, and they are not just a bad team. They are one of the worst team. They are the 3rd worst team in baseball over that stretch. With the Angels and Twins are the 2 teams they're sandwiched between.
Not even the Rockies. Ugh.
The Twins who sold literally everybody at last year's deadline. Oversold.
Legit were playing their AAA team at the major league level for the back half of the year.
That's the group that
and the Angels are the Angels, Yeah, Gary says, half a season of being that bad with the best pitcher on the planet.
God, maybe they are going to be sellers at this year's deadline.
Maybe.
This is a Ben Bosscher show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. 11 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by Yater Insurance. Life happens fast, and at Yater Insurance, they're here to make sure you're covered every step of the way. Locally owned, trusted in Midland for decades. They treat you like family, not just another policy number. From home and auto to business and life insurance, Yater is the right coverage for every stage of life. Their team makes insurance simple with expert advice and real people you can actually talk to. Yater Insurance Group will be there when you need us since 1940.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100. Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Let's get to a couple texts regarding AJ Hinch and a couple other things as well with the Tigers in general. Got a text that says, I can give you the over-platooning and sometimes questionable bullpen management can be very frustrating, but point to a better option on the streets. Yeah, I don't have a better option for whether or not AJ Hinch should be, like, who should be replacing AJ Hinch. I don't know, hell, man, like, you put Dan Campbell down in that locker room and just, I know he doesn't know it. You could just, like, put Dan Campbell down there for, like, a couple days just to get them fired up a little bit. And AJ Hinch is still the manager. That'd be great. Like, that's what they need. Someone to motivate them and wake them up, a leader, rather than AJ Hinch, who's just a chess player. I don't know if he's a leader the same way that some of the other managers across baseball are. It's different styles.
I mean, I think he's a leader, right?
I don't know. Doesn't feel like it right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you're right, it doesn't feel like it right now, but I mean, he has been for the last couple of years, and we've talked about this. Like, any time that you have a stretch of sports, it doesn't even have to be baseball, that something is going as bad as it is right now, you're going to point to the guy in charge. And you're going to start to question every single thing about his coaching style. And yeah, he's not like this rah-rah, fire-you-up guy. And that does feel like something they need right now. Is that is that worth getting rid of A.J. Hinch, though? Like, that's the question I don't know the answer to.
But I don't think you and I both aren't saying, oh, go fire A.J. Hinch tomorrow. None of us want that.
But I think some people are. According to our texts and YouTube chats.
A lot of people are saying that, actually. Got a text that says, is this team good enough to not need to play chess, though? I know they aren't winning, but they would better. But they wouldn't be better by not playing chess. I don't know, man. I think sometimes A.J. Hinch might be overthinking things. Like Riley Green yesterday in the 5-hole because of lefties on the mound. Man, he's been mashing lefties 360 average versus him this year. How about he's just in the top 4 of the lineup every day? Why is that even up for debate? Riley Green's the best hitter in the American League right now, or at least top 5. So, no, he shouldn't be in the 5-hole. You're pinch hitting Gage Workman for Zach Short. Like, it's an unnecessary move. And I think there's been a lot of those this year. Colt Keith still don't really have an explanation as to why he's never going to be able to hit both lefties and righties. He's just trapped. And it feels like A.J. Hinch might be holding him back.
He might have been right about that one.
Yeah, but all this the complaining we're doing with Colt Keith of the 253 days without a home run, that's all versus, right-handed pitching.
Yeah, fair.
Doesn't have an opportunity versus the left. These guys can't get in a rhythm because they don't know when they're playing. Colt Keith, what A.J. Hinch has done to Colt Keith over the past 2 years, he's just thrown him around. It's like, now you're playing second. Now you're playing first. Now you're playing third. You're going to bat lefties. No, you're not. So, this is like mental torture to this kid.
Yeah, like even right now, Tigers facing a lefty today, not in the lineup.
Oh, we already got our lineup card.
Yeah, the game is in 2 hours.
Where's Riley?
4-hole.
Okay, good.
Cleanup spot today.
Yeah, I just think what he's done to Colt Keith has basically been abuse. He's thrown him around left and right. I don't know if he's the right fit anymore, I think is where I've landed. And again, I'm not saying I want him fired. I don't have a replacement as of right now, but I think Paul says it in a good way in our text messages as well. 989-837-6125 said, it's time for Hinch to go. He's never held anybody accountable and has failed in the leadership department. When you go 7-17 in September, you got to point to somebody. And if it's not going to be Riley Green, which it clearly is just not. I wish that was part of Riley Green. It's clearly just not. It's got to be on the manager to recognize that. And I don't think he did it last year when they were bleeding and wouldn't stop bleeding, and A.J. Hinch couldn't get them to stop bleeding.
And sometimes all it does take is just some sort of switch to give I don't even want to say extra motivation, but just change something. Just spark something different, because clearly what they're doing right now is not working. Now, is that Hinch's fault or not? I feel like that's the question we've been trying to answer all day today.
Like, Zach McKinstry should have been benched yesterday after what happened at second base. Wenzel Perez, 7 times this year for his play in the outfield, should have been benched. And that's what I feel like this texter's saying with the accountability aspect of it, where it's just like, yeah, the Tigers players make errors or dumb mistakes, and no one gets reprimanded for it, ever. Ever. It's just over and over. Oh, all right. Make up for it the next play. No, tell these guys that play, getting picked off at second, Zach McKinstry, that's unacceptable, and we're not going to let you do that without there being some sort of, not punishment.
Especially from a guy like him who does all the little things like that correctly most of the time.
Yeah.
He should be setting an example.
Yeah. And setting a standard. And when A.J. Hinch, if you were to have benched him, that would have sent a message to the team of, hey, man, that does not happen with us. Do not get backpicked at second base. That's ridiculous, man. How many times a year do you think that happens across majors? Getting picked off at second base. That's a joke of a play if you're on a base. If you're a base runner and get picked off at second, that's a joke, man. Come on. 989-837-6125. Let's get to a couple other messages here. We got one that says, this team just needs to play fundamentally sound baseball. They struggle to attempt the basics.
Yeah, like throwing to second base and running the bases. Simple stuff like that.
Got another text that says, would love to swap Briseño for Torkelson when he gets healthy. The problem is Briseño's never even played AAA ball. So I have a feeling that that's not going to be happening. Otherwise, I would say let's go. If if he's healthy, I feel like
Yeah.
he'd be accelerated up the pipeline to get Torkelson out of here, but he hasn't played at all this year.
Hasn't played
unfortunately.
AAA, and he's coming off of an injury, so of course is going to need time to he's probably going to need extended time to get back into a groove. Didn't have a spring. Yeah, I don't know if the Briseño is going to come in 2026, which is pretty sad because he'd be awesome to have right now over Torkelson.
Texas said, when you start benching players for mistakes, it makes them play scared. Which if you ever played a high level of sports, you realize that's the worst type of play, playing scared. I don't think it would have made them play scared. It's just like brother, don't get picked off at second base.
Yeah, it's just about
That's not
setting
being
an example.
scared.
Like if the way that the Tigers are playing, that wouldn't happen if they were 10 games up. Like the way that they're playing right now and finding ways to lose these games. Like at some point, some action needs to be taken.
No, I'm with you. If whoever's playing short, if Zach Short makes an error at shortstop and that guy gets pulled like immediately, yeah, that's going to make everyone a little bit more fearful rather than setting an example. But the base running stuff, that stuff just can't happen. Those are silly mistakes. Texas says, I think it's time for Max Clark to come up. Could be the juice that the team needs. If McGonigal can provide some life, why not Max? Max has been struggling as of late. I think his OPS is below 700 now last time I looked.
And to the point that we brought up earlier, as much as like the Tigers need some sort of juice and life and just a reason to watch them because they're so frustrating, and Max Clark certainly would be all of those things, what a difficult spot it would be to be like, hey, Max Clark, we've lost 13 of our last 15. Come be the reason we don't do that anymore. It's really tough to throw that on him.
Clark's hitting 263 with a 694 OPS. I think it's probably time to wait with Max Clark. Max Anderson, on the other hand.
Yeah, Zach Short is in the lineup today, man. The guy is 0 for 13 on the season. 0 for. No hits. Just because he can play shortstop, sure, I get it. But McKinstry's here. This is another one of those things that it's like, oh, Zach Short, they're facing a lefty today. He's the right-handed bat. Let's get him an AB. No,
just play the better player.
Just play McKinstry today. Just play McKinstry. Why are we playing Short? It's terrible.
I think we've all realized that guy is not a major leaguer and probably should never be in his Tigers starting lineup. Yet he's there every time.
This just describes the current state of the Tigers lineup right now. The bottom 5 in the lineup today, a.k.a. a majority of the lineup, because there are 9 spots.
Thank you.
5-hole, Jahmai Jones hitting 182. 6-hole, Spencer Torkelson hitting 193. 7-hole, Wenzel Perez hitting 167. Hao-Yu Lee in the 8-hole hitting 207. Okay, we got one guy over the Mendoza line. And then Zach Short is just the furthest you can get from it at a 0 batting average. That is more than half of their lineup today, just below 210 batting average. I know batting average isn't everything, but it's not like those guys are doing a ton else
Tells
either.
a story.
Yeah.
Tells some story. Yeah, man, it's dark right now. It's real dark. Who's the first 4?
Veerling, McGonigal, Dingler, Green.
Okay.
Which Veerling just kind of has to be in that spot right now with the options they have for center field. So, and he's hitting 207 as your leadoff hitter. That's not always fun to see either.
It's the Ben Bosscher Show. We're live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Already told you the 11 o'clock hour is brought to you by Yiter Insurance. What I've not told you is that we are live right here on YouTube that you can watch for free. You can see our bright smiles that start at Scott Family Dental. Who knew your dentist could be double as your fine line fixer? At Scott Family Dental, Dr. Brandon Scott is helping Midland smile and smooth things out with in-office Botox that help keep you looking fresh without the I've been poked all day long vibe. Come for a clean cleaning, leave looking like you just got 8 hours of sleep, and really good decision on life. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
By Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Let's hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
Okay, Ben, plenty more to get into with the news today. Start off, we did just mention it, but the Tigers are looking to avoid the sweep today with a 1:10 first pitch just in about 90 minutes or so from now. It's Joey Cantillo taking on Casey Mize, which we're excited to get Casey Mize. He had a really good first outing back. Hopefully he can be a little bit more elongated today, but he's had a really good season so far when healthy. Definitely one of the more important guys to be back up the injured list for Detroit.
I think Mize had a really nice outing, as you stated here in news. The swing and misses looked really good for him, so I mean, if they can't figure out a way to win today, it's not that this early on game, I think it's 51, should decide whether
This
or
is
not
must-win game.
I mean, like, kind of. Like, you don't want to roll over and show your belly this early on in the year. This is kind of like a desperation move. You know?
Yeah. I just feel like it's not a must-win game. I thought last night was one they should have won. I mean, the fact that you didn't win last night, because even if you win today, you lost 3 or 4 to Cleveland. We said there's the difference between winning 3 or 4 in this series and losing 3 or 4
Massive.
is pretty huge going forward. And they've already lost at least 3. So, yeah, that's at 1:10 today, so you'll have your night freed up to watch Game 2 of Cavs versus Knicks. Knicks are already up 1-0. After a dramatic comeback win, they are 6.5-point favorites tonight to potentially go up 2-0. Are you, upset watching this series, by the way? We never really talked about that. I've seen a lot of Pistons fans kind of discussing that. Does this series just make you mad watching it, knowing it could be Detroit?
No, it makes me mad that it's not the Western Conference Finals. I think it's just, clearly the less entertaining matchup, even though Game 1 was very
awesome,
entertaining.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I'm upset that the Pistons aren't playing in it. I don't think it's ruining my experience watching this series at all.
It was the first pair of Game 1 of a conference finals to each go to overtime ever, which is pretty cool.
That is weird.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that makes sense. It's very rare for that to happen. Speaking of that, Game 1, too, the Spurs Thunder was the most watched Game 1 Western Conference Finals ever in NBA history. And it's not even it was the most streamed
NBC.
because, it was just straight up the most watched ever.
That's
And
amazing.
Pretty awesome. I mean, Spurs and Thunder. I understand, it's Wemby and Shea. It has the stars, but it's Oklahoma City and San Antonio. That's, at the end of the day, it's not L.A. versus L.A. It's not.
Everybody wants to watch Wemby, man.
It's great. I think that is awesome for the league that it worked out that way.
Wemby is Shohei. Wemby is Mahomes. He just brings in the most people. He brings in the most eyeballs to watch him.
Another unbelievable game last night, but it fell short. That series is tied up at 1 apiece, which I believe do they have the extra day off, or do they just play again tomorrow? I'm going to double check that real quick. Oh, no, they play tomorrow. It's every other day for the rest of the way. Wow, that's awesome.
Do you think that Wemby's the biggest attraction in all of sports right now? I think right now he probably is, but Ohtani,
I think just
actually
overall
might be.
Ohtani is the biggest attraction. That's good.
I think it's Wemby. Because the thing with basketball, too, is you get to be closer to the players than any other sport.
Maybe that's a good walk-around question.
Biggest attraction in sports?
Wemby's pretty good. Caitlin Clark, I think, is always a really good one for that question.
Yeah.
But not currently. Maybe once the playoffs roll around and there's not much else going on. It's kind of the same thing for Ohtani. It's just the regular season. Yeah, it probably is Wemby. Who would be the football guy?
Mahomes.
For the biggest attraction?
Yeah, I still think it's just Mahomes.
Yeah, it's probably still Mahomes, yeah.
He's got the Kelsey
yeah.
thing, too, which
Right.
just helps.
That totally plays. You're right. Okay. Moving on in the news, we had the NHL Conference Finals kick off last night. The Golden Knights go up 1-0 over the Avalanche in Game 1 of the West Finals. Game 1 of the East Finals is tonight. It's the Canadiens versus the Hurricanes. That is at 8 p.m. on TNT. Other stuff going on in the news. The Timberwolves and Tim Connolly, their GM, says they are seeking to leap to the NBA's top tier. He feels that they have been on the outside looking in of the top tier in the NBA the last several seasons, and this offseason is their goal to move up to the next tier. AKA probably a big move coming, right? I mean, you don't just like randomly do that without making a huge move.
Yeah. What's the biggest move that other than Giannis,
Giannis.
what's the biggest move that can happen this offseason?
In general or for them?
For them.
Because I also think trading for KD just makes sense for them as well. Like moving the Randall spot replaced with Durant has always made a ton of sense.
And Anthony Edwards loves KD.
Yeah,
loves
those
him.
guys are like best buddies. They tried to trade for him when he got traded to Houston initially from Phoenix. So I don't know what Houston's plan is if they want to trade him to a team that they likely could play in the playoffs. That doesn't seem like a ton of sense there, but they might just do it anyways. Who knows? NBA news as well. The first team and second team, all rookie teams have been announced. Did you see this?
I did see this.
Okay, I was going to ask if you wanted to guess them, but I figured you already saw this. Yeah, Cooper Flagg, Con Knippel, and VJ Edgecombe were unanimous selections. Dylan Harper and Cedric Coward were the other two on first team. Second team included Jeremiah Fears, the younger brother of Jeremy Fears, Derek Queen, Ace Bailey, Maxime Reynow, and Colin Murray Boyles. We will get the all-defensive teams out tomorrow, and then the all-NBA teams on Sunday, with Coach of the Year being announced next Tuesday. Kind of weird how that's coming out after everything else, but is Cade going to be on first team, you think? He got the 2 first-place MVP votes. I know that doesn't. It's a different voting.
Think so.
But
I don't think he's going to. I think it's going to be Jaylen Brown.
You think it's going to be Jaylen Brown?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Because he finished ahead of Jaylen Brown in the MVP, and I think people will go, well, he was more valuable, but Jaylen Brown played more games, so he should be on first team. I think Cade should be, but I don't think he will be.
Man, I'd really like him too. Haven't had one since Grant Hill, right? He was the last Piston to be first team All-NBA?
Correct.
We'll find out on Sunday.
But we haven't had a second teamer better since Grant Hill either. So
yeah, good point. So it would still be a big time thing. Yeah. Okay. Other news going on. LSU football had a little bit of conversation before they hired Lane Kiffin of, hey, is Coach O, Ed Ogeron, going to rejoin the team to be the head coach? Well, he is coming back to LSU to be an assistant on Lane Kiffin's staff. Coach O is one of the more entertaining coaches there was in college football during that era. Of course, coached that legendary 2019 LSU team. Ended up stepping away. He's been gone for a while now, just out of coaching in general. He's back, joining Lane Kiffin's staff with the Tigers.
So I saw that notification last night. And I was like, "What? That is bizarre."
I thought the same thing. Like maybe he just loves LSU that much. I just kind of want to be a part of it.
I suppose, yeah. Oh, yeah. I got to get my college football brain back in action.
Do you? It's May.
I guess you're right. Yeah, I really don't have to. No, maybe I won't. I refuse. Because when I saw that last night, until you said that right now, for some reason, I thought this was Ole Miss. I just completely erased it from my brain that Lane Kiffin was at LSU.
Oh, well, yeah, then maybe your brain, maybe that's not just a college football brain thing. Maybe that's just a brain thing.
Could be.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. Okay, one more thing going on here in the news, and then we will get to our traditions to close out every show. Speaking of college football, Eagles' Nolan Smith, former Georgia Bulldog, was arrested after his car was speeding at a 135 miles per hour speed. Just another Georgia guy gets caught speeding. It's unbelievable. It's crazy.
It was unbelievable 10 guys ago. How does this still happen? What are they teaching these guys at Georgia?
What is Kirby Smart teaching you?
It's weird at this point. It was weird 10 guys ago. It is 3 times a year some Georgia or ex-Georgia football player.
Or a speeding thing, a crazy speeding thing, or both.
Oh, you're going 175,000 miles an hour in a 35. What?
Dude, when are you ever going 135 miles per hour?
Never. Literally never.
When are you ever doing that? Other than just to be like, I want to see how fast I can go.
Yeah.
I get they all have these really crazy cars and everything like that. It's just unbelievable how many the track record of guys there has to be for him to be like, I'm still going to do that.
I wonder if there's a way to Google this. There has to be. Someone has to be keeping track of this.
The Georgia guys?
Yeah.
Oh, I guarantee that it's out there.
I typed in, Google listens, so I guess I'm not all that surprised. I typed in how many Georgia. First thing, how many Georgia players have been arrested since 2020? Second thing, how many football players have been arrested under Kirby Smart? Second thing. Third thing, players in the draft. I want to know how many players have been arrested since Kirby Smart.
It's certainly listening to you. I hate that, man. That's so scary.
30 to 40 players arrested or major citation since he took over the University of Georgia in 2016. So
in 10 years.
In 10 years.
So that's like
3
to 4 guys a year.
I mean, this is crazy, man. 7 days ago, Georgia football timeline of trouble under Kirby Smart.
Does that even count like a guy like Nolan Smith who has been away from the team for like 4 years now?
I have no idea. Let's just run through a couple of these.
Okay.
We got time. This article just lists them all. I'm getting a pop-up ad. Jalen Carter, speeding incident. Was going, doesn't say how fast, 100 miles an hour, over 100 miles an hour outside of Atlanta. Ayalu Ba, stopped for speeding, February 2023. 65 mile per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone. You know what? That's not all that crazy.
Yeah, I won't be that mad about that one.
Jamon Dumons Johnson. I've never heard of this guy. Junior linebacker was arrested for reckless driving and speeding and racing that led to an arrest prior to
They're
January 10th.
all car-related. Every single one of them.
Every single one of them. 2 players, one of which I'm not even going to try to say his name, and Marvin Jones stopped for speeding, going 81 in a 45 mile per hour zone and 93 in a 65 mile per hour zone outside of Atlanta. Kristen Miller, Kendall Milton, stopped for speeding March 2023, going 79 miles per hour in a 65 zone, also going 95 in a 65 zone.
Okay, wait, 79 and a 65.
That's not that crazy.
Come on, cop.
Same guy that already popped up. This would have been his second one. DUI for going 91 in a 55 while intoxicated.
The double up there. The twofer.
Marcus Rosmi Jackson stopped 3 times for speeding in May alone of 2023.
What? That's just unlucky at that point. Like, it's obviously it's stupid, but it's unlucky.
I mean, 71 in a 40 mile per hour zone. Yeah, you're getting caught. 90 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone. Yeah, brother, you're getting caught. That's not unlucky. That's you being a dummy.
I would love if all 3 of them were in like the same spot too.
Samuel Mpemba, 88 in a 55. Tyrion Ingram Dawkins, 90 in a 70. Darvis Jones, arrested for reckless driving, 86 in a 40.
I'm
This
still
just goes
waiting
on
for like
and on
the
and on.
100 and a 25. I'm still waiting for that one because I know it's coming. I mean, and this is the thing. All the ones that you're saying right here are 80, 90. This dude Nolan Smith was going 135. 135? I would be terrified.
You're putting yourself in danger.
You're putting everyone in danger. Like, that is the most reckless thing you could ever do.
How many miles per hour? Like, if you and I were going on a road trip, we're going to Detroit or something, what would be the number that it'd have to get to be like, hey, this guy's kind of like
if I was in the passenger seat to be like, yo,
if
dude.
you had to grab the handle above. I think it's like anything over 100.
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, 100 is crazy. You got a guy in a YouTube chat. The Georgia roads are fun to drive on.
Why? Tell us why.
I guess, I got to believe him, right?
Oh, this is all the arrests, not just the driving ones. They just all happen to be driving. Colby Young, arrested, suspended from team, misdemeanor. Assaulting his pregnant ex-girlfriend.
Oh.
This is like, what is going on with Georgia,
that.
man? What is going on here?
Telling you, maybe like we're talking about it, we got to look at the AJ Hinch lens a little bit. We got to look at the Kirby Smart lens here, man. What is he doing with these guys? Do they take a class at Georgia? How to speed? How to drive crazy?
First day of spring camp. Hey, if you ain't going 100 miles an hour, you ain't going at all.
Hey, you, second string corner. How fast did you drive here? Coach, I drove 50 in a 45. Wrong.
You were late.
Wrong. 80.
I don't get it, man. This is crazy. All right, we spent too much time on this. We'll have our 3 traditions to close out every show when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show, live here on the Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, we have 3 traditions to close things out here on the Ben Bosscher Show. The first of which is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Going for 3 straight years, right? Or
3 straight years.
3 straight wins? Is that it? Or did we lose on Monday? I know we didn't have one on Tuesday.
Yeah, you're going for 3 straight wins. Yeah, that is indeed what you're doing. Right now, you are 2-0 on the week. You hit yesterday. Stephon Castle over 16.5 points. Yeah, he had like 25. He had over 16.5 early, and he had like one of the best dunks ever in a playoff game. It was a straight poster. So you are at 1.7 units up on the week so far. You're also just south of 2 units up in May. So you've done a good job staying up this month with next week's shows being the last week of it, right? Is May 31st on Monday? No, May 31st is on Sunday. So, yeah, you have just all next week to complete May. So, yeah, 2-0 on the week, going for 3-0.
Today I'm going with Jalen Brunson's over. Or I'm just going with him to score 30. I feel like he's going to score 30 in every game this series. Like he's going to average like 35, something crazy, because there's not really anybody on Cleveland that's going to do a good job of guarding him without staying in without foul trouble. He's too small in a good way for Strus. Like, I don't think Strus will be able to stay in front of him, and the guards that actually are quick on Cleveland they're not good enough defensively to stay with him. So I think it's more of what we saw in game 1. We took his over in that game too. Or no, they didn't. No, that was on Tuesday. I would have taken Jalen Brunson's over, but we didn't have a lock of the day. So yeah, I'm just going with Brunson over basically every game in this series, I think, until there's minus odds, and today it wasn't. What was him to score 30 today?
Plus 142.
Yeah, I think that's great value, like incredible value. So Taylor fade, Kyle.
I'm going to fade today.
All
It's
right.
plus 142 for a reason. Like,
I was surprised
pretty
by
high.
that. I thought
know,
it was going to
like,
be minus.
I'm kind of with you. I was very surprised by that too. He was awesome in game 1. Like in the fourth quarter, man. He was just, when Brunson does get in that mode where he can't really miss, even if you are playing good defense, he just doesn't really miss the tough turnaround shots. Like, just very difficult guy to guard.
All right. That's it for our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Game number 2, tradition number 2 that we have is game 2. It's our lock of the day. I'm almost. It is our. Hold on. Let's try that again. It's our game of the day.
Game of the day.
He must be hungry or something. You know?
Dude, I'm thinking about those cheesesteak sandwiches that are
my
I right now.
Game
Hear the
2
music
is our
going
lock
on.
of the day.
I don't know what I'm talking about right now.
Hey, what's the game of the day?
It's game 2 for this series. It's
oh, that's what you're trying to say. Okay, that makes sense.
It's Knicks versus Cavs, game 2. It's probably just going to be alternating game of the day. What's the best thing we have on today until that's all done? Maybe there'll be an NHL game that squeaks in there, but this is, in terms of what we're watching tonight, it's this. It's game 2 for Eastern Conference Finals. It's our game of the day.
Game of the day.
I got 2 words for you. Steve Nash and Chris Paul. Must-see TV.
You're not going with the start of the French Open?
No, I didn't know that was starting
Yannick
today.
Sinner is going for the Grand Slam.
I didn't even know that was happening, but that sounds kind of entertaining. I'll throw that on later. I like having tennis on in the background. It's a great second TV thing to have on.
I agree with that. Especially like if it is end up being Yannick Sinner versus Carlos Alcaraz. Oh, no, Alcaraz is injured. Oh.
So Sinner's just going to win.
He's going to get the Grand Slam, yeah. Oh, wow, that's a big deal. I got to hit up my tennis guy.
Imagine being that good at a sport where it's like, that one guy
guy's
who
out, yeah, you've won.
I already won, yeah.
It's over, yeah. It'd basically be like if Wembanyama got hurt. It's like, okay, the Thunder have won the title.
Yeah, pretty much. Last tradition we have to close things out, guessing what Colin Cowherd opens with. The Herd takes over airwaves at noon with Fox Sports Radio. What's the score here?
It's a bad day, boys. It's a bad day. Boo, boo, boo. Yeah, Ben is taking the lead. Ben's up. Everyone roots for me, and guessing Colin's open, so it's a bad day for the people.
Is that true?
57 to 56. Yeah, I've been told that, you know. 57-56, you take the lead. You got it yesterday. But like I said, I think we're in a point where we're just going to go back and forth getting points for the first guy. It's my turn to go first today. I will go with, but this is tough because it's like.
I'm not just going to let you take the game.
No, because I took the Cavs yesterday. Like, I took the Cavs angle. I will go back to the Thunder angle. Like, I'm just going to say the Thunder dominated this game. Shea was great. A lot of their role guys hit threes. They did it without J-Dub. Hartenstein was all over the offensive glass. Like, this is a tremendous series, and OKC came to play after the huge response from San Antonio in Game 1.
Is it too similar to yours if I go, this is a Wemby-centric lead, but it's what OKC did to him? This is what you have to do to stop Wemby. You have to beat him up, hold him down, step on his feet. You have to basically beat him up for 4 quarters to have a fighting chance to stop him.
That's fair, but it's got to be about Wemby.
Yeah.
It's got to be Wemby-based.
Deal.
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Okay. We'll be back tomorrow. Friday show should be fun. Subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. Notify so you get a notification every day when we go live at 9. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok as well. We hope to hear from you guys tomorrow. See you later.
The Ben Bosscher